อ๋อไม่ได้กินคาร์บอนกินคาร์บอนเดี๋ยวมันกินยาไม่ได้ตอนนี้กินยาไปเลยไม่ได้กินคาร์บอนแต่สตรีมอยู่น้องเลซี่เลยครับเดี๋ยวเซตเผื่อแรกซื้อเจ้าอื่นมาครับผมใช่เอเพกแพ้ไม่ได้ละแป๊บนึงนะ YouTube พี่ยังไม่เห็นแชทนะโอเควีล็อกยังเลยครับผมมาเดี๋ยวดูวีล็อกคอมรอไวครับไม่มีอะไรหยุดพี่ได้ครับผม
5 โมง 20มีนายไป1-1ครับแล้วก็เราจะซ้อม5 โมงเสร็จหน้า6 โมงแล้วก็มีบีฟก่อนแข่งประมาณนี้ครับ
มีเหตุผลในที่เรื่องไหน
คนอื่นไม่ยอมเล่นก็เลยเป็นนายน่าจะตื่นเต้นมั้งผมว่าหรือไม่ก็มีบทความใจแต่น้องนายดิบเถื่อนอยู่แล้วไม่ได้แคร์อยู่แล้วก็เลยเป็นน้องนายดูตัวมันเลยดูหน้ามันเลยดูหน้ามัน
มั่นใจแค่ไหน
มั่นใจ100%
ซ้อมมาทีเดียวแล้วทีเดือนครึ่ง2 เดือนพร้อมจัดจ้า
ผมบอกไปแล้วพร้อม
อ่ะ
ไม่มา
ฮะ
ทำมาขิน
พี่รู้จักมาขินไหม
ไม่รู้จัก
เคยดูเรื่องนี้กำลังกลับมาเลยอ๋อพี่ดูหนังผีใช่ปะชัตเตอร์ที่มันเป็นตัวเกาะหลังยิงหน้าอกนั่นแหละแต่มันไม่มาหาพวกนี้ก็ชนะ
งั้นก็ตามนั้นแหละกลัวทีมเราแหละทีมเราน่ากลัวกว่าพีหลอกกูได้ทุกวี่ทุกวัน
ทำไมส่งไอ้นายไป1-1
เพราะว่าไม่เคยอยาก1-1แล้วกูก็ไม่ได้เอามา
ก็คือพี่จะ1-1จริงเหรอตอนแรก
ใช่แต่ไม่เอาดีกว่าเดี๋ยวคนอื่นเขากลัวเกมแพ้คนไม่แพ้เดี๋ยวนายคุณไปขอดวลเลย
นายพร้อมจัดเลยทำโมงบอกคนไหนพี่
มืออย่างเดียวที่เกี่ยวโอ้โห2 ดูแวะแวะโซมิชั่นอายุ19 ปี
กับในขณะเดียวกันทางฝั่งของฟูเซนเองก็ส่งเป็นเลเวทาน
ก็อายุเท่าไหร่สกอร์เท่าไหร่ยังไง
เห็นทุกคนก็บอกเลยว่าเป็นแบบเป็นพี่ครูเป็นทีมนะครับ
3-2นะฮะตอนนี้ไม่มีการขึ้นนำดิ้ง
ดุ้ง
ไม่โกงไม่ไหว
ตัวเดียวไป
เปิดก่อนด้วยนะเนี่ย
โอ้ยไม่อยากตัดน้องมึง
ตั้งแต่คู่แรกแล้วนะโดนย่อเดี๋ยวไม่ทัน
ฝึกความแรงกดดัน
เนี่ยทีคนดูกดดัน
จากอันโซนะเฮ้ยมันที่ไม่ทัน
คนละหมัดอุ้ยจริงอาจารย์
โอ้ยจะได้กี่คิวอ่ะอันนี้หมด
แล้วหมดแล้วจริงๆใช่ไหมโอเคจริงๆ
ต้องไปสื่อสารโทษที
I was worried about you come to skirmish
ที่ทีมจะส่งใคร1-1ครับ
พี่ครับผม
พี่โตเมื่อกี้เราแบนฮาเว่นครับเขาแบนเพลแล้วก็เราเลือก
นาวีครับวันนี้
เขาเลือกสปิดแล้วเราก็แบนอาบิสครับส่วนฝั่งตรงข้ามแบนบายแมป3เป็นบีสครับก็เป็นไปตามที่วางแผนนะครับเราวางแผนมีโต้นี้มา1 เดือนครับก็ถือว่า
อ่านขาด
มันได้อยู่
มันไม่เกี่ยวกับกูอ่ะเนี่ยจริงมันไม่ได้เกี่ยวกับพวกเราอ่ะเราแข่งกันดีแล้วแต่มึงดูนี่มึงดู
ไปด้วย
ยิงดุจัดอันนี้แมปเลยแมปบาย
เราไม่น่ายิงเลย
ก็ได้ยิงไป60 ตัว
9 ตัวเหรอ9 ตัว10
Oh my god
หายใจปะ
หายแล้ว
หายตัว
แล้วที่ตั้งปลุก10 โมงครึ่งตอนแรกก็ตั้ง4 ทุ่มครึ่ง
บ้าแค่หมาเลยไม่มีควันใช่ไม่มี
ไม่เผื่อ
เดี๋ยวกูไปส่ง3นีออนเฟดอยู่แล้วก็เวเปอร์อยู่ตัวช้า
เจอนาวีเอาวันนี้
ไม่ถ่ายเนาะ
ไม่เจอ
ฟังแล้วก็วางแล้ว
ถ้าไม่ตื่นทำไง
ไอ้เฟด
ด้านหลังก็ได้
ด้านหลังก็ดักวางไว้เพื่อดักพวกมึงอะเวเปอร์ตัวช้า
ชอบดักบ้าน
ดีครับเดี๋ยวเราไปบอกเดี๋ยวพี่บอกเขาให้
ได้ไวเด้อ
เปลี่ยนของบ้าน
ต่อเขาเปลี่ยนกันแล้ว
งานตายได้
รอพวกมึงรอให้ข้างหลังเล่นให้ข้างหลังเล่นรอแค่คอนเทนเฮเว่นอยู่รู้
ฆ่ากูตัวหนึ่งนะฆ่ากูตัวหนึ่ง
เฮเว่นอยู่รู้แล้วก็มีลิงก์ระวังมีลิงก์กูโดดให้บอลระวังในควันด้วยเอโบตัว
ดูกูยิงดิ
ปล่อยพี่ห้อง
โอ้ปิดกู
เลยวะ
กลางเยอะวะ
มันปักบ้าน
เราเล่นไซด์ได้ห
น้ากลางตัวหนึ่ง
ยังมีใคร
บอลกูถอยดีกว่า
เป็นควันได้ไปเนาะ
ไม่ต้องนาย
เอลิตัวนึงตัว2 ตัว
เอาบอลว่า
ลิงไปเลยควันเลยกูรอบายให้
มีแรงขึ้นหน่อย
ไปรอเล่นบอล
คนฟันอยู่บอล
กูซ้ายไปเลยกูติดให้รอบ
ตัว
บอลตามไป
2 ตัวค่อยๆบีบมาบีไม้เลยรอ
เชียวบอลวางเพจโอ้ยบอล
เฮ้ยไม่เห็นแฟดอีกหลับเลยสัสเปิดบอลอยู่กลางอยู่กล้อง
ถ้าไม่ได้คือกลับมันสมองกลางต่อมันไม่รู้เราเก็บกลางให้
เร็วไป
เขาจะไกลเรากลางต่อเขาบีได้
ตู้กลางไปเอโบหน่อยใส่นักไว้ให้เฮเว่นไปเลยเกี่ยวดูสิที
เล่นด้วยกันนะ
ไม่ไหวแล้ว
ตามมุมคอก็ดีคุยกัน
ไอ้โลก้าตัวใหม่ไม่ออกให้มาตัวใช้
กูเล่นยืมฝั่งบิลลี่ให้
เดี๋ยวบิลลี่ให้นี่มีตันว่าจะมาตันกูอ่ะ
คือผมจบสรุปไม่มีเกมหรอก
ไปหลังมาตัวนึง
เอาข้างหน้าไปสุดเลยเอาข้างหน้าสุดเพื่อนทีเดียว
ก็ดีนะช่วยกัน
บีเม2
กูสนับเล่นกับ
เข้าเลย
กูเดินไปตัว
อันนี้เล่นในเวที
2
อยู่คนละเ
ปิด
โอเมน60โอเมน60
เฮ้ยยังไม่ได้ปล่อยให้บอลเล่นก่อน
เล่น
โอ้ยที่ขวาไม่โดนเลย
ถ่ายเพื่อนเฮ้ยกูตาย
ไม่ตาย
โดนหมัดอยู่
ไอ กำลังกับเบล
เนี่ย
วางมิดกลับมารอช่วย
อาจจะตัวเดียว
ตอนนี้ทีมมี่เลยอ่ะโคตรเพอร์เฟคทัมมิ่งครับจังหวะที่เขาไม่ได้พีคมาใช่ป่ะ
โดดซ้ายให้กูหาให้เลย
ทีมมี่ใช้เวลาทั้งหมดแบบเตรียมมุมต้องเช็คอะทุกอย่างแม่งออกมาแบบ
แค่ไป
เรามาในบอล cover ดูให้หน่อยกูจะวางให้กูวางให้เอลิงนะกูรอบายซีดีให้ได้เหมือนกัน
เป็นเอียบัตเป็นอย่างเงี้ย
ตีไป
ไม่ใช่ไอเอ็มตัวเก่า
ได้จะ
ไม่รู้เขาจะทำเป็นไอเอ็มหรือเปล่านะนี่คือตัวทดลอง
ไม่ต้องหรอก
อามาปีฮอนเนส
อันนั้นแมนยูหรือเปล่าผมว่าเทมเปอร์ลีก
เขาพวกแปดเลย
เฮ้ยตายว่ะตรงนี้เราตัวหนึ่งว่ะดูดิเล่นเฟกมันตลอดเวลาเฮ้ยไม่มี3วะฝั่งนู้นอ่ะ
มี4มีรู้ด้วย
ชนะแล้วกูบอกเลย100%
ที่ซื้อแบบเยอะแร่มาแบบเยอะจัด
ไม่น่าเข้าขวาไม่อยู่ก็ยืนถอยไป
เราได้ควายบิลิงให้มาเปิดยัดซีดีได้เลยนะ
กูไปเล่นเอลิงกูรู้เรื่องไงอ่ะ
โอเค
มันมีสมองนะ
ต่อยูเอเลยดูในทีคิวล่าสุด
เดบิวต์8อ่ะนะ
เดบิวต์20ตาย4อ่ะนะ
Let's go boy พิมมี่ดู
เกรงเอาเลยพ
ไม่
วก
เอากูจะเอาไปแย่ง
แย่งนะ
คิวก็แย่ง
อย่าไปแย่งมันไม่ให้
คิวก็แย่ง
แล้ว
เฮ้ยแล้วคนนี้ประสบการณ์เยอะกว่าคิวนะ
ไอ้นายอย่ายืนตายตายจริงงั้นน่ะ
ไม่พี่นายอย่าลุกขึ้นดิพี่นายอย่าลุกขึ้นปั๊บดิ
รู้
พี่นายยืนดิ
ยืนได้หรอกูยังไม่ได้นะ
เฮ้ยเอ้า
ก็
เจอ
เฮ้ยเรารู้อยู่มิดกลับไปแล้ว
เฮ้ยได้ควันเยอะได้
เจนนะ
กูว่ามันตัวเดียว
เล่นนะ
เล่นเลยเพื่อนเฟดเอลิงแล้วก็ตัวดันบ้านตัวหนึ่งเพื่อนอะไรอ่ะวัดไปยิงเราเขาทำไมอ่ะไปยิงเขาเฉยเลยยัด
เมนติทางกลาง
มันโยกไปนายโฟกัสลิงก์นายโฟกัสลิงก์
บอยกระดัง
กูรอไปพี่จะมา2ปีลิงก์
เปลี่ยนมาลิง
ไป
ไม่
ลิงก์ไป
ออก
กูยังไม่วางเลย
ไปช่วยเฮเว่นได้อ่ะ
กูดึงขากูวางให้
บิลลิง3ตัว
ล่าสุดมันบานหลังบ่อย
เอานะจ้า
ฟัด
คนเตะ
ไม่ดู
ออกมาแล้วดูซีดีให้รถ3ลองตุ๋ยนะเพื่อนกูตายแง้วซีดีตัวหนึ่งตัว2
เด็กน้อย
เล่นไปเลยบอล
เอาให้หมดเลยบอลเร็ว
โอ้ยออฟเอาเหี้ย
โดนแดก
เดบิวต์โค้ดแมตช์แรกเป็นไงบ้างพี่ดีม
ตอนแรกนั่งดูอยู่แล้วว่าเฮ้ยทำไมจอไม่ขยับวะนั่งดูอยู่ทำไมมันจับจากคนที่ไม่ได้สู้วะอ๋อกูเป็นโค้ดแล้ว
ต้องกดเอง
มันต้องกดเอง
เดบิวต์แมตช์ในลีกเป็นไงบ้างครับผมไม่ได้ยิงใครเลย นั่งสั่งเดี๋ยวแล้วเป็นไงอ่ะหนุกดิสนุกนะให้เพื่อนจริงก็นั่งสั่งเลย
ระบบก่อนใช่ปะ
หูฟังที่ไม่ใช่เฮดเซ็ตเหรอครับ
เป็นนายคิดถึงใครมองใครเมื่อกี้พี่ทีพูดไปเข้าหัวอะไร
เข้าหู
โอเค
ช่วงนี้ไม่ได้ตามวงการหูฟังแล้วไม่รู้เขาไปถึงไหนกันใช้แต่ของ
ต้องทำ
การ
เลิกแบบ
เดินมาแล้ว
1 2 3
นั่นน่ะ
ปีไม่ทำอะไรเลยแค่ควันนะ
ลอง
ปี
ดู
แค่
ข
ค
อ
วั
ง
น
โลก้าก็ดีครับ ของดีเขาใช้แบบ
เฮ้ยพี่กูไป
โดนคุย
ตีตัวมาแล้วไอ้ตัวนึง
ตัวนึงในไทยไม่ได้เสียง
ควานเทไม่ได้มันนึงชิวได้ด้วยกลับมาได้กลับมาได้
อะไรมึงตัวเก่า
ให้เป็นตัวนึง
เฮเว่นปัดมาโมเมนต์
โดนมาต่อเลยเอเมนมันเอามึงได้หรอ
โหอยู่ใช่ไหม
โหเล่นโหเลย
ต้องงูเบอร์กูได้งูไปได้เลยนะ
เกรง
เดินเข้าไปเลยควันได้
ล็อกแรมกันต่อ3เป้าอ่ะ
พี่โดบนะ
เข้าได้เลยเข้าไปเลยก็เข้าไปเลยก็
แต่ควานเทเว่นเลย
เย็ดมึงหนุนใจ
ไปซีดีได้นะซีดีอะไรไปซีดีไปเลย
2เฮ้ยเจนไง
ปัดลงมาต่อไปช่วยนายไปไล่โบไปปัดไปแล้ว
ไปดูแรงได้ดูไม่ได้หรอ
เฮ้ยเหี้ยอะไร
ต้องกลับไปเลยนะเดี๋ยวเรารวมพลังกันเลยกลับไปครับกระดานไม่ต้องกลับกันเลย
เฮ้ย3ตัวมัน3เลยกูที่อยากเป็นรับด้วย
โยรูวาร์ปไปนะตอนเจอที
มีนีออนยูรูเป็นเกิดอยู่เนี่ย
เรียกว่าใจเย็นก็ได้นะเพราะว่า
ใจเย็นได้ค่อยๆไหลค่อยๆหาแทง
เขาลูกหักไปเล่น3-1ได้ปะ
ต่อพี่เก่งเปิดม่านทีหนึ่งได้
ขอ
ป่ะ
โพยไปเฮ้ยไปโพยเป็นเทปิกพรุ่งนี้5 ดาวครับ
ตีกลางมาปล่อยกลางคนเดียวเว้ย
กี่วันเดียว
เอ้ยรวบ
ปิดวอลนะปิดวอลนะ
รวบได้นะกูขอขึ้นไป
ถ้าพวกมึงเข้ามาเว้นได้คือดีเลยฝากคนให้
บอลเราไม่มั่น
เพย์เนี่ย
ขึ้นเว้นมาได้ปะลงเว้นมาด้วยกัน
แป๊บ
ไซโยนาระหลังมาเตอร์ครับ
เดี๋ยวบ้านเดี๋ยวกูพอเริ่มไปให้
เฮ้ยมาเตอร์ถึงจะถึง18
ว่าเปิดวอลแล้วเรายืนวัดกันป่ะแล้วก็ค่อยเอาเลยมายืนวัดกัน1 2 3
อ้าวคือท้องขึ้นแล้วก็ลงเหรอ
ไปใกล้
เดี๋ยววาร์ปไม่ได้
วาร์ปไปแล้ว
ลบ70นะโยรู
เฮ้ยเกมปีกขวาหน่อย
ล็อกให้เว้นไว้เ
แต่บ้านเหมือนบ้านมีบ้านปะไม่มีโอเค
อยากให้นานเล่นตรงนี้เลย
ไม่มี
พี่จะบอกว่าเวลามีข่าวอะไรจะขึ้นอ่ะแล้วข่าวมันเป็นข่าวแบบ
มันได้ยินกู
ใหญ่โตอย่าไปเชื่อเขาผมพวกนักลงทุนเขา
มีไม่ตัวนึง
เดี๋ยวเอาไปหลอกเฮีย
โยมา
น้อง
ป้องมาตัว
2แล้วฝากเข้าไป
3เลยแอลโบ3วางเปิดไปเล่นกันเลย
One enemy remaining.
เล่นไปเลยโย
Last player standing.
ไม่กู พูดอะไรโทษเดี๋ยวกูน่ารอดีเทล
เชล
รัดบีไปขวาตันวะ
ไฟเนี่ยไปไฟ
ขาไป
เนี่ยดีฟอลไปขวากันเนิน
ไปต้องเผาตายตัวตุ๋ยไว้เพราะไม่ได้ตุ๋ย
ถอยมาแล้ว
อาจจะมีตัวเฟดมันตีจากนี่แล้วก็ยูรู้อันติ
One enemy
ดีป่ะ
remaining.
ไปเลย
มาแล้วมั้ยเดี๋ยวค่อยดูต่อ
Thank you so much for your time. And once again, welcome. We're going to be back over to the desk. So, Ginny, take it away. Actually, Ginny, joke, there is no desk. There's literally just the floor. But I would love to touch upon one of the things that was highlighted in the interview, and that was Starkso on the IGL role. And just, in general, the atmosphere that the team is building to make sure that they are successful when they are on stage.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually wanted to bring up a tweet
น้องไม่มูล
from
สวัสดีค
Starkso
รับ
back in
ไปนั่งลุ้น
2022,
ทอง
bear
มา
in
เป็น
mind
ไงบ้าง
this tweet is from, where he actually had a lot of respect
ขึ้น
for
ครับ
people
ผม
that are playing the IGL. He had to jump onto that role at LCQ for Ascend back in 2022 and then put out this tweet after a brief experience of being able to pick up that role. And I think it's really nice that we're seeing players in our league that have had this experience of being a player and then stepping out and moving roles into being an IGL, and Starkso being one of them. I think Yampi last year as well is a great example of this. Xiao, yep, Xiao exactly.
Perfect, and that's Navi. Let's talk about Navi then. Let's talk about Xiao. In general, just the setup that we are also looking at from the side of Navi, because of course they've made some changes. Angel is now on that coaching slot. We have Xiao that's now IGLing. What do you think has allowed them as well to be so successful with these changes that have come through?
I personally think that it just has simplified everything. I think Navi last year, towards the end of the year, started simplifying their game. Angel understood that with the rookies they had, the young players they had, playing this really complicated version of Valorant that's Angel thinks in 500 IQ 4D chess just doesn't work. And when he's able to simplify things, then I think it just really works for them. And I think this year he's able to simplify further because he knows that he's got Xiao as the IGL. He's not in the server anymore, able to have as much impact from his position, which I think has been a great benefit because they don't overcomplicate anymore.
I think having very clear leadership across both teams as well is what's allowing the players to be able to pop off. We look at Hero specifically. I think that this could quite literally be his peak form that we have ever seen from him in his career so far, which is insane to think about.
It's only 2 games in.
Because of the caliber of player he is, though, he's really performing at his best right now.
I think that last year he started a bit slow and then he just progressed, and I think he just keeps developing as a player. He really just is taking all that feedback in, understanding his position, being humble, and just he's just
อายุยังไม่ถึงนะครับ
So are we saying
น้อง
the
ทอง
sky's
ป
the
ระการ
limit?
กิจโมลกุล
Honestly, Honestly, I don't know what you want me to say to it. It's kind of
I think as well, really quickly, in terms of
โอ้ยมีแมป
which
3 ทุก
teams
คู่
we think are going to be coming out on top, that's a conversation that we'll have
โอ้ย
once
วัน
we
นี้
see the map veto.
ถ้า
Because
3 แมป
right
ทุก
now
คู่
we
ไม่
are
ไหว
ready
นะ
to
พี่
welcome the players on stage.
ท้องเสีย
We have Navi going up
ไป
against
ซื้อยามา
Gentlemates
ตอนนี้
for
นั่
a
งกิน
slot
เกลื
to
อแร่
get
อยู่
one step closer
กิน
to
ยาแก้ท้อง
Master
เสียไปละ
Santiago.
กินโค้ก
However,
เสร็จ
one of them we're
ที่
going
แบบเฮ้ยเพลงมันไปหน่อยเพลินถ่านไม่ได้กินถ้ากินถ่านแล้วกินยาอย่างอื่นไม่ได้เอฟพักครับผมกินยาจีวาเฮิร์บคืออะไรย่อยนม
Well, I just saw an operator kill, so maybe.
20 นาวีครับผม
Needs to be
ban
banned.
the op from skirmishes.
Yeah, ban it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Pal using it.
คือตอนแรกไปเซเว่นใช่ไหมแล้ว
No, that feels a little bit too far. It
มัน
should just be rifles or bandits.
หาไม่เจอครับ ก็เลยซื้อไอ้ถ่านมายาถ่านอะเสร็จถามพนักงานเซเว่นพนักงานเซเว่นบอกมีตัวนี้ก็เลยซื้อตัวนี้มาด้วย
With the, much longer speech.
Yeah, I know.
Look
It
at
looks
them.
as though they're looking to.
Okay, right. Map
Well,
select
we got
is
the map
in.
though. Abyss, Bind, and Split. I mean, Bind specifically,
But
when we're looking at it
ตอน
from
ยิง
South
ก็หนักอยู่
Gentlemen,
น้องนัท
I'm excited to see how that one's going to play out after last week against GX.
Yeah, I mean,
Navi ครับ
Navi
Navi
decided to select the binders.
Navi
Kind of
Vitality
brave
วันนี้
considering the comeback that they were able to have on it in terms of mates last week. But I think focusing in on Abyss there as well, mates brought us a really interesting composition last time when we saw them play it. It was that Brim, Astra, Wele, Yoru, Sova.
ถ้า
I'm
Vitality
intrigued
ได้
to
ไป
see what
เนี่ย
Navi have prepared because of course we've not seen them play this map yet.
I think the
ซ้อมไป
way
ซานดิเอโก
both teams
ไซ
have
โย
a
เดลา
proper
ซ้อม
ban
แน่
at
น
this
อน
point. They're just banning the maps they don't like. and
นา
then
วี
they
ครับ
get
ไม่
to
ใช่
play
ฮี
the
โร่
maps
คนเดียว
they
ครับ
like, and then we get them through. So I am expecting
ลู
them
อีก
to
ครับ
map here.
ลู
Both
อีกก็
teams
ยิงครับ
have chosen maps that they really want to lean into, and that usually means they have the advantage.
From my side of things, though, Abyss is not
ลู
something
อีก
that
ยิงอย่างหนัก
obviously we've seen yet from Navi. But
Yep.
when we're looking at Gentlemates, we know what they're doing there. We know their compositions. You've already highlighted, Billy. So if anything, Navi is not going into this blind, which to an extent could also be considered a bit of an advantage for them.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that we at that point are looking at the coaching staff, but at the same time, because we've not
นา
seen
วี
them
ไปเจ
play
อ
it,
วิด
you know, we hear teams saying that they want to play their own game, and I'm intrigued to see what composition they come up with.
Yeah, so on Abyss,
Keep
the
that.
way that Gentlemates will probably end up playing is they had that Brimstone in the
ขอ
Astro.
ดูฟอร์มวันนี้ก่อนได้ไหม
They're going to be going in aggressive on that attack sides and then looking to secure the
มันมี
round.
เวลาให้ดู
post
ฟอร์ม
plant.
มันต้องวันต่อวัน
Much like some of the analysis yesterday, I want to see Navi disrupting that post plant as much as possible, getting in on those flanks, stopping that Brimstone, able to just set up and just molly and win the round.
Yeah, I think their post plant was super strong, like you mentioned, with all of that after plant utility that they're going to be able to have. I think for me, it's a question of do Navi continue the identity that they've shown across some maps? You know, we've seen a little sneak preview of Chamber. I feel like this is a decent Chamber map as well, so I'd love to see Ruxic back on that. And honestly, initially when I saw them pick up the Chamber, I thought it would have been sociable, but Ruxic has been like a really nice, you know, player on the Chamber. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see if they go down that avenue.
Now with Asian Slayer, I think those questions are going to get answered. Gentlemate's not changing anything up.
Well, Navi said we're seeing a Sky on Abyss, which is a bit surprising to me. Usually you want a Sova on this map with that tail.
Ui.
So I'm curious to see
Late
what the
though.
Sky pick is about. Traditionally, you're going to see the Sova because the drone is so impactful, the recon is such like a long-range map that long-range utility makes a lot more sense to me. So my eyes are all on that Sky.
Yeah, I think so. I think that this Astra Omen is something that we're seeing quite a lot throughout kickoff as well on a variation of maps, which I know many you've already highlighted you've not been the biggest fan of.
Sorry, and a Raze? I didn't even realize he's playing Raze on Abyss.
On
Okay,
Abyss
I'm
is bizarre.
hyper-focused on that Raze and Sky.
จริงๆนะเองอะเหมาะ
both
เป็นโค้ช
agents are not played on
นาน
this
แล้วครั
map
บผม
very much because it's such a wide, big map. Raze and Sky are usually
Long
it's
Chin,
usually
สวัสดีครับ
Sova, Jet, Waylay, Yoru, those kind of champions. So I'm gonna really champions. I'm sorry.
Agents. Go on your head. No one even noticed.
So I'm gonna be focused on that this game. What is the value Navi think they're getting from these agents? Yep, agents.
What is the value that the casters potentially think that they could be getting off these agents?
ไม่เหมาะ
Because
ครับ
we're ready to head
ที่
into our
ไม่เก่งอ
first
ธิบายให้คน
game
เข้าใจ
of today with our casters, Mitch and Tom.
ถ้าเป็นแอสซิสหรือแบบ
Well, Tom, quite the matchup for us today. Gentlemates are on a bit of a hot streak, facing off against Navi, who, seeing Xiao IGL, seeing Feel look okay down on that stage, this is a great sign for what Navi have ahead of them this year. But this is a big hurdle now. Mates are coming in today hot to the touch.
Yeah, for sure. Like, to be honest, the main thing for me coming in today, I
คู่นี้
just
ใคร
wanted
ช
to
นะ
know
หรอ
what agent hero would be playing to make it the champions.
There we go. Okay, well, you've got your
Sorry.
answers. You've got your answers, perhaps. As we come into this one, we're going to start out on Abyss, Gentlemates map pick. We go to bind the choice of
มาครับ
Navi
น้องอู๋
and
มา
finish
ตาม
it
นั้น
out
ครั
on
บผม
Split. One that I would be excited to see if we do get another glimpse of Navi on that map. They had a very strong matchup against Heretics.
สาย
I
บน
think
ค
a
รับ
lot
อั
of
นนี้
people
สายบน
went
ครับ
back to see how that one unfolded.
สายบน
For
4 ทีม
Navi,
สุดท้าย
a
ฮะ
start on the defensive side. That's where they've decided to kick this one off. I suppose what's interesting
Lemon.
coming in, the fact that you have Feel on that duelist, but very different identities when you look at the other side.
แม่งไม่ลงนะ
Gentlemates coming in on that double dive that we've seen
แต่แปลกนะว่า
so
แบบนี้นะเอง
impressive
คุกมามีเลสนะ
from so many different teams. Obviously, DRX, I think, are the ones drawing my mind,
ไป
drawing
ป่วน
my
ตรง
mind's
กลาง
eye
กลับ
first,
มา
but
เข้า A ครับ
it's such a difficult
แล้วผม
composition
เอ
to
ไม่
deal
มี
with.
ผู้เล่นของนาวิอยู่
Direct hit, looking to come in, and almost
Don't
looking
fight
like
it,
a
yeah, but-
retake setup from the side of Navi. Just using a little bit of util to try and delay, allow them to buy time for
วันนี้
that rotation
โอ้ย
back
กล้องมัน
towards
ส
the
ลับกัน
side of the map. But with that potential of the double initiator, get the sort of
เฮ้ย
reveals burst back in, and well, that's
ลืม
worked
บอกว่า
wonderfully.
ไอ้นี่
Already finding one off the back of the drone.
มัน
Vila
บัฟ
will kick
มา
things off the first kill found, but the time
โอ้โหดีอ่ะ
slightly
เมื่อกี้
ticking. They now
เฮ้ย
need
ดี
to
จัด
get a move on back into the
ดี
site.
เด็ด
They
เลยครับ
have
ผ
been
ม
delayed by mates.
Some of these kills could be
แต่ต้อง
so
ขอ
easy
เพื่อนนะว่า
with players tagged very low, but
ให้เพื่อน
dropping
รอ
out of
ยิง
heaven
ยังไงก็ได้
makes
1 ตัวครับ
a
มัน
very
ทีเด็ด
difficult
ทีเด็ด
retake. So they send 3 of those players
ไอเดียดี
towards
จัด
the
นะ
spawn. Now 4 to burst on through, but Mini and Bimbo, good to find those kills to start with. Mini delivers a triple to put mates 1-0 in the lead.
Yeah, last time they played this map, Mini was an absolute
ไอ้ตัวนี้แหละ
menace, especially on the defensive side. On the defensive side, he was unstoppable. He was playing retake solo and winning like 1v4s while his teammates were still alive. Like, this map just seems to sing true. And it's genuinely making me believe that the Brimstone might be a good choice. And
เรื่อง
I'm
เยอะ
not
ตอนนี้เริ่มมีส
necessarily
กายขึ้น
sure
มาแล้ว
that it's like
พี่ว่าตอน
an
นี้
insane meta pick.
ไอ
I
แพด
just think
ใน
it
ความคิด
works
พี่
for
นะ
him.
แพดที่มันเนิร์ฟอินนี่ครับ
You
เพิ่ม
really
ดีเล
can't
ย์สกิล
argue
พา
with
ส
the
ซีฟอะ
stats, can you?
สกิลตัว
A
E ครับ
man like Mini
มัน
coming into
มัน
this
เพิ่ม
year,
ดีเลย์ขึ้นใช่ป่ะ
IGL
มันทำให้
roll off his shoulders.
สกายเล่น
Been
ได้
unleashed,
เข้าใจไหม
and to be honest, he was unleashed even when he was on the
เหมือนกับ
IGL, so
ส
even
กายก็
more
มีนก
scary.
2 ตัว
Also,
ปกติ
Starzo
พวก
was saying
โซ
that
วา
he
พวกอะไร
is
มันที
doing some of the calling. Like, he's
แมปหนึ่ง
second
ใช้ได้
mid-round,
3อะไรอย่าง
he'll
เงี้ยหรอไหม
give some mid-round tips. So it's not like he's just gone,
ตอนนี้
right,
มันก็แบบ
hands off the wheel, I'm just going to frag now.
โอเค
He's
อะ
still
ยูทิลิตี้
inputting
ค่อน
while
ข้าง
putting
บา
up
ลานซ์
these numbers at the same time. So definitely been a joy to watch thus far. I want to also give a little bit of context for
สังเก
people
ตว่า
watching
สกาย
this series.
ส
You
กาย
might
เริ่มกลับ
think,
มาเป็
okay,
น
this just takes you to the
ตัว
upper
เลือกใน
bracket
คอ
in
ม
that first matchup. Like, still a long way to go. Whoever wins today, both games, they go into that first best of 5. If they lose that, they go into the second best of 5. And if they lose that, they go into the third. So basically, winning today gives you 3 chances to make it to Santiago. Like, that is a massive opportunity, especially when you look at the teams that are here. Like, you don't have Fnatic up there. You don't have teams that made it, like Liquid, all the way through last year. Like, these are opportunities. Heretics came into the year. People had high expectations. And for Navi and Mates, they're a team that you kind of look at and go, well, they haven't been there for a while. Mates weren't even close. If they could be one of the teams that gets 3 bites at the cherry,
30 seconds left.
they're going to be over the moon.
This one looks a little shaky from Starzo, but it was all a ruse. The recon sent towards B, the wide swing with the ghost in hand, and then the plant on the A side. So mates have a lot of control now. With Navi having rotated over to B, stacking up in these kind of rounds is expected. That's exactly what Starzo was trying to bait out of them. And now all they have to do is hold off against a retake that has practically nothing to it. There is some utility still. Could easily see, well, the flash going out, not quite through his smoke. And because of that, they're very easily able to take them on those ranged fights. Some damage already done, and with Martin going down, the chances of winning very slim. But all they want to do is make this more costly. Drop some more weapons.
They're too low to go anywhere near it.
But in the end, yeah, they will be denied. Just the molly that stops it. Mates, 3 players down, though. It looked like it was going to be a lot cleaner after a 4v5 post plan.
Yeah, I think also they realized at the end, it's like, okay, the guy that's there is Mini. He got quite a few kills in the last round. If we let him kill us, he's going to be like one off his ult. Yeah. So we just have to hide in the corner. There's no chance of us winning. It was nice for Martin to get a few extra kills. Obviously, anything you can do to get towards the dimensional drift is going to hold high value. But this is where they get onto the board. And on the other side of things, obviously, Hero has been the major talking point so far. Rooksik, one of the best controllers of the year last year, but Hero had his ups and downs. Maybe the downs at the beginning of the year and then grew into it. He's coming hot.
Yeah, well, very much. He was like a planted seed. When he eventually
น่าจะหลังคิกออฟครับสกิน
Beautiful to watch. Mates losing Martin early, but getting that distance trade thanks to the smoke up close. Xiao's got himself an angle, hasn't been revealed just yet. When he strikes, essential. He got at least one more, but a triple. Well, that's certainly going to do it. Mates again, climb back into this round, but a man like Mini's reliable in these moments. That's a pick, and the spike back potentially under their control. Oh, he almost got a haircut there. And Hero's thinking about spraying through. It's going to cost him a lot of HP. The sliver left indeed on everybody. 2, 5, and 26. Narrow margins will decide this round.
Yeah.
But Hero's got 2 opponents to find and one waiting on the other side of the smoke. He still catches him, but he can't make it out. And 2 HP decides the round. Mates up to 3.
มันโดดทำไม
It's just, it's madness that he's just gone straight back to what he was doing last week. It was a great start from Xiao, managing to get multiple openers, but then it did become a little bit disjointed. Like they had the use of the salvos to try and force a fight, but it's Filu fighting alone. Then it's the Ritz got, okay, I've got surprise factor, I'm running through the molly. I'll fight Mini alone. Don't fight Mini alone. Unless it's the other Mini. Don't fight that Mini alone.
อะไรอ่ะ
I think
you could take. I think most people.
I don't know. I think Mini's got that switch that you flip and he just goes savage mode.
The dog in him.
I think he does. I think he'd take your ear off.
ไม่รู้น่าจะต้องรีไทร์แล้วจบเลย
Okay. I didn't know.
If he could reach. But 3-0 to start this one off for Navi. It's been a bit of a shaky start, but they've had damage. They've had chances. And on this low buy, not a lot of chances. The decoys sold Xiao down the river. And here we go into a 5v4. Early retake attempt. There's a lot of players close by. Flash going to pop out, but they dodged it. And now it's a clean up for the most part.
Last player standing.
Okay.
Got there in the end.
Let's settle down.
You tell him.
Cover going out.
Back in his trusty controller. We've seen him switch up roles here and there, but this is where he's always done his best work. Not an easy one to take. The first fight comes for free. The next 2, not going to be as isolated. Sat far back. And well, even a molly. Mini taking this one nice and safe until he swings and fights him anyway. It seemed a bit pointless, but hey, when you're not missing a shot, I can't blame you.
Time was low enough, I suppose, especially with the molly on it. A 4-0 start.
He's 8-1
from the attack side, and yeah, it's no surprise when you got a man like Mini 8-1.
อุ้ย10เลยเหรอแต่
Xiao delivering on the other side, but not.
What was Bippo? He just tries to run through a salvo and gets
แล้ว
killed.
มินี่ยิงไม่หยุดเลยครับตอนนี้
Not too sure. To be honest, this is the point where you see a pause a lot of the time come out, but Navi clearly Angels hearing the right things being said by Xiao as they gear up for this round number 5. Another full buy. A loss here, I would be flabbergasted if a pause doesn't come through. I mean, this is the side that they chose to start on, and unless the idea was for Navi to get the worst side out of the way first, and we're going to need to see rounds on the board pretty soon.
Once again, pressure being put in on this B side of the map. In fact, Navi already have the info. They've sent the drone through A. They know that this is where the pressure is for the most part. It doesn't seem to matter though. Xiao, who's been the sort of savior of the site at times, sociable does well, but Mini's killed his teammate in the meantime. But from behind, he will go down. Puts us back into a 3v3, but a post plant and some fairly aggressive positioning. Do they expect 2 players to be this close? The answers seem like a no, but the trades are good enough. Left all onto the leader. Starzo to try and clutch out again. You've seen that backline cleared with the Armageddon. And even the utility used up close. A wonderful clear. They had the idea. And Navi now on the board.
God, that was essential, especially with the fact that, I think most teams would start to think he's gone towards main, he's playing that post plant, but realizing there were 2 players up close, what are the chances that he's separated completely? Maybe he could be flank watch, but in this instance, that paranoia saved the day. Any opportunity for Starzo shut down. And finally, we do get that win on the board for Navi. Good reactions across the board as well, slowing down the fight that was wrapping through mid to the B site. And then re-aggressing from mid to catch Mini backing off. They had 2 players ready to fight towards the spawn, backing off that B site and taking the fight to mid. I think they did everything right there. And, well, they get the round for it.
And with how close some of these rounds have been, the purchase coming up from 8 actually isn't great. Normally when you win 4 rounds in a row, including a couple of low buys, you expect the cash to be stacked. Even still though, a couple of high impact ults. Convergence path just picked up. The orbital strike was always there.
The pressure's put onto Ruxic. He's inside a smoke now, a safe haven to play from, but will be caught. Martin, Bippo showing up on this side. The spike's being dropped. Look at the position of Glyph. He is on the other side of the map, playing this with a pistol. That's going to be a super late lurk, possibly even a plant towards the B side of that position. I mean, the world is mate's oyster right now. Navi have no real info to play with. The only danger here is that there could be a mid push, right? So if Bippo runs back with the spike, he gets dropped and the round is in disarray. Instead, they're going to wait for Glyph to make a move, but it looks like he's just been seen.
Yeah, I think that was just a smart check from Xiao, like wondering why there hasn't been a plant. Like it's been too long. Something must be going on. Now gives them an opportunity. They've also pinged that somebody's in the spawn. They've got this wrong. They're going to go aggressive that way instead and find absolutely nothing for it. And are being wrapped on. Xiao on the flank, still not getting the plant, and Spike has been dropped. I think Mates have overcooked this one, overthought what is going on. And because of that, they've given away back into the round a chance to fight for Martin, and now Glyph still only with a pistol. He will fall as well. Navi recover. I kind of feel like that was more Mates' mistake.
For sure, Mates made a mistake. Xiao was
ที่ว่าโล
so
มัน
quick to pounce on it as
มาโล
well.
ไม่ได้ซับซ้อนขนาด
That
นั้น
being sent
จริง
through the spawn immediately
แม่งเล่นซับซ้อนเลย
Not only do they think we're there, but they're guessing that we're there. They're going to act on it. They're going to push through. They're going to burst through to crunch.
Oh, it's just an arm.
And in that moment, Xiao steps in.
เมื่อกี้เล่นได้หลายแบบครับ
Retakes the site. Bippo steps out.
เพราะว่า
thinking,
เพื่อน
now we
เพื่อน
can
ได้
plant
บี
the
มาครึ่ง
spawn.
แมป
It's
ใช่ไหม
safe. Cool. But
ค
Xiao
อ
already
มา
cleared in
คอ
that
ก็
space.
มาวาง
Filled
บี
it
ยัง
in
ได้
on
เลย
quarter, and now Navi
แล้วก็ให้คนที่
second.
ให้คนที่ล้ำหน้าไปอ่ะรอตัดตัวหนึงเพราะว่าคนโรเทตมามันจะไม่ค่อยระวังมันระวังตัวยากมันต้องเปิดเสียงแบบเป็นไกล
Just going into round number 5. This
แต่แม่งเลือกที่จะ
aggression.
แบบ
It's a different face from Navi.
ทำอะไรก็ไม่รู้อะ
Sent down
จ่ายอัน
early
ตีหลัง
towards
ไซต์
B.
อะ
The
ทั้ง
entirety of
ที่
the
ได้ไซ
attack
ต์เรา
side is waiting around that
ผู้เล่นก็เยอะ
corner.
กว่า
Minus Mini now, and the showstopper's gonna
Ui.
find nothing. Gustavo will clean them up first. A
เรียบร้อย
gorgeous
เสีย
round
โม
from
เมนตัม
Navi,
เป็
and
นแปด
in zone flawless. Now just one behind.
Yeah, I don't think he'll mind too
ใช่
much. The fact that they come out
เล่นได้
with
หลาย
a
แบบแต่
very
มันเลือกแบบที่
clean
ยากที่สุด
round,
อะ
a
งง
chance
เลย
to
ทีนี้
build up the economy. That was sort of what I mentioned with Mates, is that they were winning rounds, but they weren't able to sort of get the finances alongside it for
อย่าง
Navi.
นี้โม
They
เมนตัม
are.
มาละ
And they also have other ults that are cycling up. Will be back in play very, very soon. For Mates,
ดูน้าสะ
more
ใจ
of a
จัด
problem. Back to pistols, a few stingers. Expecting this to be a much
เกมแปดสวย
faster
แล้ว
hit with the weaponry that they've
มา
got.
ยิ้ม
but
เรียบร้อย
They can
บา
get
ย
into
ครั
a
บ
post plant, Mitch. They do have a lot of utility that could make things very,
เพื่อน
very
มีแพลนมาญี่ปุ่นบอกผมนะครับจะพาเที่ยวเหรอครับผม
Navi have good util for getting out
ก็
of
อยากไป
smokes,
อยู่นะ
fighting back in. Seekers for sociable, but
ไว้ถ้าไป
Mates
เดี๋
the
ยวบอก
chance
น้อง
to
อู๋คน
run
แรก
that clock down with the orbital strike for Bippo opening onto Hero. Orbital strike's going to get them in. They're feeling like this could be their round. Good
อยู่
spam.
จังหวัด
Ruxic
ชี้
down to 31.
ชี้สู่โอกาส
Dodging by a hair's
ได้เลยครับ
width. And Martin will meet him on the other side of that smoke. Somehow, this turns out to be a convincing round for Gentlemates. With Xiao left alive, nothing to do. Seekers were even used up by Navi there. I mean, an investment from
โยนคืนสักหน่อย
them. Nothing to show for it as
น้องเด
Lefty in
น้อง
zone
เดสสวัสดีครับ
falls. Take your pick.
Yeah, that was just impressive stuff. And
โยน
again,
คืนสักหน่อย
it
เดี๋ยวไม่
seemed
สู
like
สี
throughout the entirety of it, they just had the read, like where their opponents have been playing. I think that there's been multiple times that Heroes dropped out of heaven after the initial push, so immediately knowing there's someone
ฮีโร่
there.
เสียทรง
And then
เลย
they're
ตอน
all
นี้
just spamming that smoke. There has been Ruxic playing around the top site, around those angles, but they put the orbital strike on top site. So there's only one place left he can be. That's just them picking apart the defense of Navi, and it's something that's been wonderful to watch from mates because
อันนี้ให้นาวีไปเซต้าไปทีมไหนคู่นี้ไม่ค่อยใส่อะแต่พรุ่งนี้ใส่แจ๋วเลยพรุ่งนี้T1 DRX ใส่แจ๋วไป M8 ก่อนแบบหนึ่งสวยอยู่นะแบบนี้ M8 นาวีสมองไหลนะตอนนี้
I think the most striking visual down on that stage for me, though, Tom, was Feeler's monitor. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but my guy's got it tilted at like a 15-degree angle. I mean, it is not level. It is so far from level. I'm surprised it's not vertical.
ระบบลีกมัน
But to each their own. Might play with his head tilted.
ปีหน้ามันจัดใหม่อยู่แล้วครับ
I always thought it was important to have it dead straight, but
มันอยู่ที่ตังค์มากกว่า
my measurement devices say
M8 มันนี่ท็อกไง
9 kicking off and Navi pushing up in Emea now running into a lot of
M8 ชนะ1ใบแดงจัดไปน้องแบงค์
But they will flash right back. Navi dumping utility to contest for that space, but their cross back is being watched. It's being spammed. Damage done, but no picks just yet. Mate's not finding the reward, but this wrap around from Martin. Well, there it is. Those players cleaned up in the end. And Mates will have themselves that A site.
I love the Starzo decided to just keep the stinger into this round. Happy to use the SMG him up. Again, they make this very direct take into the
วินที่แล้วมัน
side
ไม่
work,
ตาย
but
มัน
as
เซ
you
ฟตังค์
mentioned,
วิน
that
ที่แล้ว
small
พี่เห็น
variable,
มัน
that
ถือ
flank,
ไอ้นี่อยู่
bit of positioning from Martin was enough to just rip this apart because Navi, they directly tried to counter the A take. It's what's been causing them so many issues over the last couple of rounds. And just having a player get in behind has completely turned the round on his head.
As you would expect,
สวัสดี
really,
ครับน้องห้าเลยนะ
something that Navi you're gonna have to think about. You know, they take that time.
2-0 เลยครับผม
and that's the round that you get disrupted.
ไม่ให้แมปนาวีสักแมปไปหรอ
Really not where you want to see
น้องตี
those
สวัสดีครับผม
for Mates. Still throw out those ideas. I don't mind it though, because Navi had the
แม
success
ปนี้
going
M8
down
เลือก
on
มา
B main. The showstopper sure was involved in that play. Didn't really do anything.
M8 โหดมันได้มันมีมินนี่อ่ะ
Late round here.
มันมีมินนี่มันมี
Let's get
มาติน
aggressive.
ไง
Let's take that fight. But or minute 20. But yeah, you can't really let Martin thread the needle like that.
No. And as I said, it's that little bit of variation that mates throw into what always seems like the same play. It's like, oh, they're doing that execute again. No, they're not. They're not. There's something else that they've sort of added that extra little bit of spice. Again, credit to their leader, but also I think you have to give a lot of credit to Paco and Kundi because the way that this team has been playing for such a new squad, I dare say, I think they've been my favorite team to watch throughout all of the games I've seen.
Yeah. I don't think that's too left field of a call
Navi
at the start of the year. I have different things to say, but the games that we've seen have been impressive. Minute 15 on the clock. Navi's aggression this time, not on the extremities. It's down here on mid. Sociable's tucked in that corner, but Mini's just spotted him. Sociable able to take his head off though. Now the attackers worried about that mid space. No ground to work off the back of that pick either, and missing their brimstone. Well, I think more importantly, missing their mini.
Yeah, I think that saying missing the
อันตีครับ
brimstone
ห
doesn't
รือ
quite
เจอ
do
หนึ่ง
justice. Martin
เบรกด้วยเดี๋ยววาร์ปไปวาร์ปอยู่
Ruse
ดี
on this side of the map.
เจอ
You've
สอ
got
ง
the Hunter's Fury is like a bit of a ruse, and this fake is
โอ้ย
working wonders. In fact, the fake has just taken the entire site. You almost have to question now, like, do we go back? He's just kind of killed everyone.
แมปบุก
I don't think you expect the guy to go into the site
Oh my
1v3.
God.
Okay, had a Hunter's
เฮ้ยเดี๋ยวนี้
Fury,
เขาวาง
and then just
ส
killed
ไปค์กันตร
the
งนี้นะ
entire Navi
ยิง
squad.
ยิงสแปม
But
ง่าย
it did technically
ใครเอา
work
ไป
as
เล่
a
นแรง
fake. He did pull the other two players away from the site.
Yes, a very good fake, you could say.
Some would say better than the actual hit.
Last player standing.
Especially if he could just keep going like this. Bippo is not going to take the time to allow his teammate to get the ace. But honestly, the way he just played that round, I'd say it's better than an ace.
ใช่แล้วน้องเบนจามินถูก
Very
ต้อง
impressive.
That's an accolade worth more.
สวัสดีน้องอิงนะ
Solo triple entering a site. while the rest of your
วัน
team
นี้ใส่บน
is
2 คู่เลยครับ
the closest players in spawn. Look at this.
He was just like, where do I go?
น่าสงสาร
Ruxic just looking for a way out, and he couldn't find one. Really nice round from Martin. 13-7. And it has to be said, Martin, a player that we have seen reach very high heights.
Yeah.
สวัสดีน้องใหม่นะครับ
And I think
7425
that,
นะ
you know, looking at the last, even kind of last year, the last half of last year as well, I expect so much more from him. I haven't seen that same level hit. But this map here, oh yeah, we're eclipsing it.
ปืนกลก็แม่นสไนก็
At
ดี
his best, I think you look at him, especially with the tech he has on Yoru. I think going into this meta with Yoru still being incredibly strong, it suits him massively. And I think if you're a KC fan right now, look away. Because he's performing exactly how you would have wanted him to last year. This new environment clearly bringing a fresh feeling. Oh, Xiao is stunned up, but they're going to give him an opportunity. Taking a lot of damage on the way, hoping he'll get a chance to shoot the judge, and he does. Takes one. But you look at the rest of the weaponry, and there's not a whole lot to play with. Paranoia is good, and actually, Ruxic has done well.
Oh, the swing from Martin so important. Remember, Starzo down to 2 body shots from those sheriffs as well. Thanks to the damage done moments ago. And with mates deciding to flee the coup, go away from this A site, take it all the way to the B site, there could be weapons retrieved. And in fact, there already is on the sociable, you can see, and there's another for Hero. So now this 3 versus 2, even more favorable for the defense.
Just got to look at Glyph's position.
He's heard them all.
He's going to hear the steps. He's still looking back in the other direction, but even still, are they going to check this? They might do. It's all going to come down to timing. And look, Ruxic has just checked the angle. Hero is still watching it. He's still holding it. And that's so integral. That changes the round and leaves it all up to Starzo. First goes his way, but the operator might not be what you want. A missed shot. He's got to go back. And unfortunately, well, he took one with him. But he had to be forced into the angle of Hero. It will be a fourth just about for the side of Navi, but a nice attempt there coming out from Starzo.
Oh, a really nice attempt, but it comes down to taking all of the kills and the ult forcing you into the open, your backup weapon being a shorty. In that position, he didn't have much of a chance. You can see the giggle shows that, but an ult not online there, and that's a different game we're looking at altogether. 7-4. The barriers go up one more time in this round. Off in the hands of Filu. Here on the defensive side, position early towards A main. Probably going to look for some aggression, and although he's not going to spot anyone, that information alone could be invaluable. They can get that early rotate, as we can see mates are already gearing up for this B-side hit.
เดี๋ยวรอดูสลับฝั่ง
Ruxic and Hero. Not the duo you'd want to be facing into, but have been dealt with for the majority of this game so far. Ruxic managed to get up top, but it's Hero that's been sold down the river. Does he manage to get much from it though? There's a first, another teammate has gone down. They now know where he is. Ruxic just trying to back out of there. Hold at least a little bit of ground, give himself a fair fight, and it's not pretty. Starzo will take him out with little to no problem, and the remaining 2 are just a bit far.
ซันไลอยู่ไหนซันไลอยู่ไหนก่อน
He's going to be thrown through early.
โอ้โห
Looking to seal the deal on that 8-4 half for mates. Starzo doesn't get his tags. The all patiently waiting, but for how long? There's the stun in the grab well that gets him the first. The shot. Down. It's all on Glyph. He's popped the smoke, but they suspect it. Stars online, 1 to work with. This Gravwell still to play with. They'll think about that. They'll imagine he's playing towards main, running the clock down, but Glyph running it down on top of them. He's taking the fight. CQB, but he won't get the kills. Xiao off the defuse just in time to lock in 7-5 at the half.
God, a nice attempt, but an incredible
เฮ้ย 5-7 ไม่ปลอดภัยนะ M8 ต้องได้ปืนพกนะ
was a done deal for an 8-4 half, but they will steal the final round back and at least make this one a little bit interesting. We'll find out how it goes after the break.
Hey!
Hey, Tom.
Alberto was looking for you, by the way.
ใครรู้เรื่อง8ต้องได้พกนะเนี่ย
Okay, I'll go check.
ไม่งั้นลำบากแน่นอน ไม่ได้ห่างเยอะ 5-7 เฮ้ย ใครก็ได้อันนี้ ตอนนี้เชียร์ M8 ละแต่เติมนาวีไป เมื่อกี้ต้องเป็นลุ้นหน่อย ช่วยลุ้นให้น้องแบงก์ก่อน M8
In a funny mood for sure, you know, and he also like step up when it's needed, you know. He makes the job as a captain, so it's very important, I think.
โอ้โห นาวี
And
2-0 ตอนนี้
the others, I think
ภาพไม่
overall
ค่อยชัด
they're
เท่าไหร่
kind of like kind of funny team. Like a lot of us are like a little bit extrovert, you know, so we like to talk a lot, especially me and Star.
โดนซื้อตัวไปแล้วครับผม
For sure
พัน
there are going to be some funny clips coming.
First half saw Mates hit 7, leading by 2, and it's Martin leading the charge. Great to see him filling those boots that we've seen him in before. We know that this guy has a high ceiling, just got to reach it.
Yeah, for sure. I think this was the half in
แต่ง่ายครับ
the
ผม
prior game versus Foot where Mini just became he was final boss. Like there was just nothing that could be done to kill him. He was running around the map just taking names. So I want to see what they've got on the Navi side, because realistically Xiao's had a great half. Like I think he had moments like holding the site, but even in the retakes towards the end, and it's been a little bit quiet from Ruxic in particular. Like we talk about this guy as one of the best when it comes to that role of controller. Now going into the attack, I like the sort of addition of a second initiator when you're playing up against these double smokes. A lot of the time, I think the Sky is going to need to... You're going to need to push through this utility, because otherwise Mini will just burn out the time.
Oh, Martin!
Martin.
Oh, we talked about him. Said he was on fire, and he's doing just the same shenanigans here in the first half. An immediate headshot from the Sheriff. Although Navi are picking up the pace towards the A site, Martin's already here alongside Mini. Looking for that fight around the back as they wrap in. They find him waiting yet again around every corner. This man haunts their dreams, turning them to nightmares. He's in the smoke, hiding, biding his time. They're coming towards him. An ace on the cards, but he's out of ammo. Caught reloading. Starzo saves him, and Bimbo closes the deal. An in-zone flawless in the pistol round for Mates, and Martin keeps on putting up numbers at just a ridiculous level we haven't seen from him for so long. Refreshing.
I think whatever the morning routine was today, stick to it. Stick to it. Keep doing what you're doing, because this has just been insane. Like, when we talk about like this Navi roster, at least I would say 3 of these players are very, very high up on that individual skill level. I think you're looking at your Hero, your Ruxic, and your Sociable. Like, these are guys that you don't out-aim, and sometimes they can just rip apart even the best of the best teams. Right now, Martin has been the best player of the server, and I don't think it's particularly arguable.
No, there's not much of a debate to be had there. Good thing for Navi, they're going towards the site that doesn't have Martin. So that's at least a strong start, except now it does have Martin. He just took a gate crash, cleared out all of B main, and is in position for this mid or A fight. But Navi, they take the orb, give it a little bit of presence, and move in the other direction. Mates have already adjusted, though, with the rotate from Glyph back to the B side.
Unfortunately, because that was such a... Well, it was a flawless round. They don't really have many orbs to start with. So, like, you look at Filu pick up the orb, and it's like, great, I now have 2 orbs. One of them from dying. So, it's all about any amount of damage they can do. It's already got a little bit awkward for Bippo, who is incredibly low on HP and actually has to run back across the site. A chance for a plant, not impossible, but a decent position as well from Xiao. I don't know how he gets here. I guess just runs past some of the players on the site, and now Hero's managed to find one as well. It's just starting to get pretty dangerous for Mates.
Spike planted.
They've still got to deal with Martin, though.
เหลือตัวล่าง2 ตัว
He's looking for this fight.
เหลือตัวล่าง
He
2 ตัว
knows
ยัง
there's
ไง
a
ดี
player stuck on that box.
มีแฟลชมีไฟ
His position is known. And look at Hero wrapping around that smoke. He looked like he wanted to fight, but it was Filu. He was out for the brawl. Martin with another. But it's Hero now, 65 HP. No info. Gate crash taken. It's right in front of Hero. And he almost got a shot off. Oh, that could have been disastrous. But a thrifty round win for Navi gets them right back into the swing of things.
That one's got to be infuriating. Like, they basically went in with absolutely nothing.
หมดสภาพ
Do some initial damage, but I think like Xiao managing to get into the backlines like this, it just don't know how that happened. And then just some jumping right-click classics that gift over weapons. That's a brutal round for Mates to lose. A chance for them to extend into the second half has been cut short. and leaves Navi with a lot of credits to play with going into this, and also their opponents with nothing.
เช่าอีกแล้ว
Well,
เมื่อ
that's the
กี้
problem, right? You've got Navi hot on their heels
ใช่ถ้าเดิน
now.
ไปได้
2 rounds already, closing the gap. But the fact that we should see that down to 1, stranger things have happened. But for mates, 2 sheriffs and a shorty, they would have to get very lucky to get out of here, even with a decent amount of damage. It all comes down to what site Navi hit. You can see that the B site stacked up. Mates have got plenty of players there if there's some aggression, but if this hit comes in on the other side of the map, Minnie's got a classic over there. I do see some players shift in this direction, although I imagine that this is just take the orbs while they can't fight.
เข้าถูกไซด์หรือเปล่าครับเหมือนจะจบ A
Taking slow,
ใช่คนอยู่ B
expecting some sort of
น่าจะไปถูก
elaborate ruse in this round. Or maybe they're just trying to figure out where Martin is. That's also a good strat. Just find where he is and go the other way. Unfortunately for them, he can switch up his position fairly easily. Well, looks like Minnie's going to be left with an impossible task. The goal
อย่างนี้มีไฟครับ30 วิไฟแน่นอน
delay as much as
ไฟไหมอุ้ยไม่ไฟเอาหรือเชื่อ
some util, maybe he'll try
นึก
getting
ว่าจะ
the
ไฟ
ball
ครับ
into
เมื่อ
play,
กี้
but I don't think that's going to happen now. Now the rotation coming in, Xiao is just
เดี๋ยว
holding
พี่เฉา
the
เลย
line. But Minnie, he almost manages a kill, but I think almost is all they're going to get.
นึกว่ามินนี่จะไฟฮะ
I mean, it certainly looks
ถ้าเมื่อ
like
กี้
that.
ไฟนี่คือเป็นเรื่องเลยนะ
Going to close this round out and put another
เฮ้ย
on
ขอบ
the
คุณน้
board
องแอล
for
นะครับ
Navi.
44 เดือนนะฮะ
Flawless. A money
ครับผม
maker round for this squad, losing the pistol and then fighting right back into
ข้อ
a
ดีของ
1
เล
round
ด่านนี้ก็
deficit.
เคลียร์ของครับเคลียร์ของง่ายฮะ
It's about as well as it could have went and looking pretty strong, even in the round where they had classics. Their positioning was solid. They were winning a lot of heads-up duels.
แต่ก็
Using their utility to
ฝั่ง
section
นู้น
off
ก็ไม่มีอะไร
every
เคลียร์ครับ
fight.
ผม
Mates are in trouble. And if they lose
อาจจะ
this
คอม
round,
ฟอร์ตฟิลูก็อาจจะถนัดก็ได้ฮะ
they certainly won't be in the lead anymore. Navi should run away with things. And even
Line
if
up.
if they lose this round, it's got to be this one and the next one seeing a lot of impact. It has to be close. Otherwise, like, look at that economy already for the attackers. They're coming in with like 4K plus on most players.
Yeah, also ults not too far away either. Definitely a lot closer. It's only Martin on the other side that could get that dimensional drift online. Early drone usage. I think this is a gap that clearly Navi are looking to exploit. Like with having those double controllers constantly slowing the pushes on direct hits, middle is going to be
ส
so
ตรีม
important for
ท
their
วิต
play
ยูทูบ
as
ซุปสี
well.
ฟ้าซุปอันใหม่ครับ
Wild spray from Glyph, but
ถามที่นะ
it
ซื้อ
gets
ซุป
the
เป็นหลั
job
กนะ
done. The
ฝากก
direction
ด
of
ติด
the
ตามซุป
salvos is
สี
going
ฟ้า
to
ด้ว
give
ย
them
นะ
an idea
น้อง
of where these players actually are.
เน็ต
So that's not too
หน้า
bad.
ที่อะหน้าที่กองทอง
Information on the other side, and it was hoping to try and catch him on the
Okay.
exit. Martin, it's not worked out though. Heroes predicted it.
It is a very audacious angle.
Oh,
I mean,
shiny.
not really anywhere to go when you get caught, but looks like same for Navi. Caught trying to flank up behind, and Glyph ends up with a triple.
Recovering it.
The B site has fallen, sure, but there's reinforcements very close by. And Hero, a
30
plant
seconds
at
left.
least secured.
Spike planted.
Dodged the
Don't know where to
reveal,
go.
but I doubt that they're too puzzled as to where he is. The utility certainly shows it off, and with 39 HP, this one should be a done deal. Glyph with the 4K to put mates not back into the lead, but back into an extended lead.
Yeah, Glyph
comfort.
He's had a bit of a quieter game so far, a little bit whiffy at times, but that was a much better round from him. Like the first kill, I was a little bit nervous, but from then onwards, it was just clean shooting all across the board, making sure that nobody could surround his teammates and even snapping back to close the round at the end. Again, a lot of depth and talent on this mate's roster. And now this is where there's still plenty of credits left for Navi. They're definitely not in any form of danger, especially every time they get the plant, a few extra credits into the account, but
แปซิฟิกพรุ่งนี้ T1
see
DI
if it's
ครับ
going to be as easy as that classic round to break into this site again. It is fairly low lift on B. Currently only Glyph there, but of course, he does have the potential to buy them an awful lot of time.
พรุ่งนี้ไม่มีพิก
Already the utility's been thrown into B. See that Martin threw his gate crash out, came in to support 4 players close by. I mean, this is the stack of the century. Minnie's not even on A anymore. He's just holding down control on mid, making sure there's no late lurk up through there. And the ultimate, it's going to force them into a fight, surely. Glyph has to battle here.
Ui.
And he stands his
ตายใน
ground.
หน้าที่
He
ครับ
doesn't give them an
Yep.
inch without a price of blood to be paid. And My God, the exchange rate's not looking good. Sociable and Xiao, 2v4. That was a sensational round from Glyph. I wonder if he didn't have the same kind of round in the previous that he did, if he would have had that confidence. He just stopped running halfway through and went, screw it.
Yeah.
I'll fight you on the beaches.
Well, he also waited for the exact last second to make that run. They were waiting for him the entire time, but that moment later, Martin reclaiming space on the site.
โอ้ย
Sociable
ปั่นปวดไปหมด โอ้โห
The deep line is all that's left from Xiao, and while he can buy a bit of time with his util, but that never would have saved the round. The fight's not going their way. Glyph being the hero, and while even with the ultimate being invested, it
นาย
ends
บอก
up
คุ้มแบบ
being
เมื่อกี้
a relatively easy
แปล
round
กๆ
for
ว่ะ
Gentlemates, mainly because of Glyph.
Yeah, because of his martyrdom. Like the fact that he just accepted his fate. Yeah, I'm not making out of here. But neither are you. Really nice stuff from him. And, well, I think for Mates, it seems like the hands are firmly back on the reins.
I want up him, bro. IGL one tapping. What the hell?
IGL one tapping indeed.
I feel like he's been one of the highest rated players in the entirety of
He's
Kickoff
like
so
22 and 9.
And he's like, yeah, look, IGL. I feel like it's an excuse without an excuse anymore.
Yeah.
He's 13
M8
and
นะครับ
11 on the board.
สไตล์แบบว่า
Navi,
ไวหน่อยอะ
7
ดุ
rounds.
ดันหน่อย
An economy that was
มี
stacked up not long
ดู
ago,
เอล
but
มัน
now it's
เร็ว
being
ครับ
pushed to its brink. An ult economy even being thrown
ดู
at
มัน
this.
เล่นดิ
Oh, and Bippo! He stood, he waited, and he had a way out as well. An escape plan put into action. And a 5v4 into effect.
ค่อนข้างก็
Yeah,
4
I guess
8
the Razor has technically given them the sight. But that's about all they've gained from it. Cosmic Divide already shutting out 3 of the players. Now, Sociable can look to sit on the other side, and you're thinking maybe he can flash through. Well, he can't. He doesn't have any flashes left. So this is going to be very awkward to try and find something unless Rookson can go ham, and he doesn't. He gets absolutely nothing.
Salvo?
Oh, I think something must have gone through to delay.
ปล่อยไหมอะ
Bippo has at least let go, and there is the salvo. Will now buy them a little bit of extra time, but they're losing the fights once again. Xiao does well. They need to get somebody back onto that defusal and quick, and he may still have an extra little bit of utility to try and stop them. The spam's going through, but it doesn't even matter. It's Bippo back the other way. It's his turn to get a 4K.
สตาร์โซ่
They're getting
1,000
quite
คิ
a
ว
lot of those.
Yeah, I guess it is a very, very narrow angle. We just saw it pop up there behind Gentlemate Starzo. 1,000 kills here in VCT. Congratulations, brother. He has been
พี่
put
รู้
up
เฉยๆนะ พี่รู้ติดเพราะเหมือน
As I said,
มัน
I
แค่
think
มา
it
เล่น
was
แล้วโอ
last
เค
week
อะ
or
ก็เลยเข้า
possibly
น้ำ
the
พี่เลย
last map they
เห็นให้
played.
สัมภาษณ์อยู่
One of the last few. He was 22 and 9 on a fade. I mean, seeing a guy take up the IGL mantle, we talk, oh, Mini, now that he's not IGL and he's going to be insane. And he has been. Yeah, he has been. But to see Starzo still hit that level, I think it really does go to show how much weight it takes off your shoulders, having that second caller.
After they've gone, I think, was it 4 rounds in a row? I like the idea, but Starzo's just watch it. You think you can get behind me? You think that's going to work?
Oh.
And now Bippo just swinging it, takes them all down. This is decimation of Navi. Leaves just Xiao. 1v5. The Xiao Show has been in effect today, but this would have to be your favorite episode if he's going to win this one, and it's nothing. Bippo to make it an in-zone flawless. Mates are just destroying
M8 โหด
Navi in
M8 โห
these
ด
last
ถ้าเรา
few
ดูมา
rounds.
M8 โหด
And they're having fun doing it as well. We've seen them on their feet, getting loud. The confidence is there. I think Glyph, he really inspired the troops with his big play a few rounds ago, because since then,
They're
it's
taking
been
turns.
nothing but solid individual performances across the
เพิ่ม
board.
2-0นะเนี่ย
Bippo
นาวิหลับ
especially.
Yeah.
This has been my favorite series to watch him play. And we're only 1 map in. Well, not even, but it could just be 1 round shy.
หลับสนิทเลย
On the
นี่
other side of things, it does seem like they're just struggling. Filu's impact on the Rays. It was an interesting choice for me. We haven't seen a massive amount of Rays on this map in particular. I think Yoru, Waylay have really taken the pick. And I'll be honest, I'm yet to really see what the Razors brought to the table. A showstopper that scared his opponents into dying to Sociable. But other than that, it's been a little bit rough.
ให้ M8
And then again, like, even the Sky, like it doesn't look like it's really been working out for them compositionally. But then you just look at how mates are winning a lot of these rounds. You think
เพิ่ง
like,
เอาไปเยอะๆกันไปต
also
อน
you
นี้
just kind of get an aim dift at times as
พี่โบก็
well.
หลุด
Yeah, you think about Martin's 3K entry into the A
ถ้าจับ
site.
ก็ยัง
in the
ไม่
previous
ไม่
half.
กลับมาตัวนี้
Yeah, everything Glyph has done. I mean, the last 4 or 5 rounds as well, there's been examples of it. 5 in a row needed. Man disadvantage to start. Hero, the one you're missing. Hunter's Fury sent through. Tag found right away. Sociable holding on for dear life, and he will just about survive. But that is just another wound for Navi to
คุณนาย
bear.
วินะดูไว้คอมพูเซนไปแล้ว
The plan
ดูก่อน
comes
เริ่ม
in.
ดูอีเมีย
They're going to be seeking an advantage, but mates are offering no opportunities.
นี่เท
Okay,
5
now
4
they are. Starzo's looking for the fight. Other than that,
Sociable needing to take a risk because he's so low, but also would have given him Seekers.
ได้เรื่อง
He
นะ
could
เดี๋ยว
find
พี่ไป
it.
ทำนะทำพรุ่งนี้
These A-site retakes have been
ตอนนี้ไม่สบาย
stellar from the side of mates already, forcing them back, taking their space, taking the positions
Yeah,
they have
come on,
moments ago, revealing them from above, every piece of utility having its impact, and every player falling. Only one left, Rooksing to try and save them. His aim's on point, but they're already defusing. It is a mate's streak and a mate's map. They will be 13-7, 1-0 up, and ever closer to being in that grand final.
I mean, it's hard to doubt them.
M8 ไปซานดิเอโก้แน่เลยวะโคตรโหดเลยจริงๆครับผม
Won your own map pick. You also hit 1,000 kills, by the way. Here in
Pick
VCT,
nothing.
everybody's got 1,000 kills.
วันนี้ดูอยู่
So how are you gonna make sure that you keep that momentum going onto the next map? Because bind last time, you did manage to come back, but it didn't start off too hot.
I think we just focus on being calm, last bind city, I think we missed one thing in our preparation that Giants abused. This thing is not existing anymore, so we're much more confident in our defense now and attack. Whatever happens,
All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go. That's it from us over here. We're gonna be heading over to a break, and we'll be back with our second map of the series.
เสริมถูกจุดไง M8 อ่ะไม่มีอะไรมากเสริมปีศาจ
Oh my god, so much time, bro.
How much?
6, 7!
6, 7! 6, 7!
Wow, what the fuck are we doing with our right?
FNS is gonna be on stream like, what are these guys saying, bro?
Bro, these guys, this is Europe, guys.
Someone need to do speech. Okay, so they will show us.
Just say 6, 7.
6, 7, guys, you're gonna smash the 6, 7!
เฮ้ยเดี๋ยวน้องแอลโอ้โหแค่นี้ก็แย่แล้วครับผม
Your body knows a sense of victory, seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone, designed to win.
Red Bull gives you wings.
.6 7นี้ทั่วโลกจริงอ๋ออย่างนี้ฮิเลติกก็เสริมแล้วก็บัฟทีมอื่นเลยดิดึง M8 ดึงคัมแบ็กจาก M8 ไปเฉยเลยคัมแบ็กดิดึงคัมแบ็กงงมากไม่น่าไปหรอกเป็นจี้อ่ะอันนี้อยู่กับวูดอยู่กับเรียนถ้าไปคืออยากไปเองอ่ะซึ่งพี่มองว่ายากบอเตอร์นินจาสแต็กบอสหนักสุดอะถ้าตั้งแต่ดูมาผ่านมาที่2 อาทิตย์อะบอสหนักสุดคือบอสมันมีเกมที่แบบ แย่ไปเลยอะนึกออกปะน่าจะได้ผู้นำครับซาโซนมาอินเกมเวลาเกียร์ก็หนัก
Welcome back to VCT
ห้องน้ำก่อนนะผม
Emea kickoff, and so far, Gentlemen were able to get their own map under lock and key. So let's dissect that a little bit further, because coming into it, we had questions about compositions of both of these rosters, specifically Navi. Do you think they got the value they wanted out of the Rise in the Sky?
Rise?
Raise.
Rise?
I literally just ran up here, okay? My heart is going like 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, I said I wasn't going to be negative today, and if I speak, I'll be in big trouble, I guess. I mean, like, to be honest with you, I had no, like, I don't understand what they were trying to do. I think that if you looked at it carefully, they were really trying to make those sky flashes do really well with, like, the Teo drones. Like, the Teo drones are going up, and they're using sky flashes in combination with it. So the thinking was there. Yep. But it's into the weeds. It's too complicated. I praised Navi for simplifying their game, but this, to me, was an overcomplication. The simple approach here is putting Filu on a Jet, a Yoru, a Waylay, and then playing a Sova. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I think we saw moments where you could see the idea of what they were trying to do, in the sense that they were pushing the extremities with the Sky and with the Rays and trying to synergize with one another. But it's like you say, it's the synergy that we were kind of missing and kind of looking for with these two agents. And, you know, kind of both curious as to why they were played on this map. Because as you said, this is kind of unconventional for what we would expect from an Abyss composition.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to answer that question, so we can just kind of theorize in regards of how that went. But when it comes to Gentlemate specifically, and the fact that they were able to make that composition work, especially with the amount of utility that they would have, like post-blend, that felt a little disgusting as well, you know?
Yeah, I think having a Brim and Astra, you're always kind of going to be in a good position when it does get to the post-plant, if you get to that point. And I think we saw a couple of lovely rounds from them here, the really, like, value that you're getting out of that Brimstone.
And the funny thing was, is like in some of these rounds, they weren't even doing nerdy Brimstone Molly lineups. Like, if you watch it, it's like literally Minnie's just like jumping around the corner, just like throwing a little Molly out. So value there for them. I think that Navi didn't really disrupt the execute well enough. Like, Mate's comp doesn't have high utility to get onto the sites necessarily, so there wasn't much disruption there from Navi. And then also they weren't pressured on the flanks on those first ones either. So I don't think Navi came into this with the best game plan in disrupting Gentlemates here. Given the fact we knew Gentlemates were playing this style, this almost gimmick approach, I would say, to the map, I don't think Navi answered it very well.
Yeah, I think that, like you say, because it was quite gimmicky, you would expect Navi to have come in with some sort of ante on the things that they were being able to do, because I don't know how often you can replicate this kind of composition in the way that Gentlemates have been playing it. I also do want to commend, though, the retakes that they were able to have with the composition, you know, very much getting into sight very quickly and not really allowing Navi into post-plant situations, because Navi also had quite a good way to get into that post-plant with the tools that they had available in terms of utility.
I think it really speaks to how good Gentlemates are looking those defense sides. Like, I said it in the pre-show that, like, Gentlemates' defenses look very mature. Like, they're getting a pick and then going for retakes. Like, usually with teams that are like new, coming into the league, kind of dark horse kind of teams, you're going to see them trying to flood the sites and using their aim and just trying to win all the aim duels. But it's almost like Gentlemates kind of understand when to take a step back and when to be mature about things, which is very rare to see in a team that's like a dark horse rookie kind of team, you know?
Yeah, you're talking about some teams relying on winning the duels. I mean, there was one individual player on the side of Gentlemates who's doing very good in that department, Billy. I mean, Martine on the Yoru was incredible.
Yeah, I want to shout out Bippo and Martine, actually, because I think I want to give Bippo some stars here, because when you consider his first two opening games that he's had on the stage, it didn't look particularly great for someone that is entering the league, but today, he's looked fantastic so far on that first map. And I think as well, when it comes to Martine, it's just always a really welcomed thing seeing him on that Yoru.
Yeah, so for Gentlemates, it's usually Mini and Starzo that are the ones putting up the numbers, despite the fact that they have a double Judas composition. And I haven't been too critical of Martine and Bippo's performances because they've been so valuable in, like, understanding how to move around the map, very positional. And I was waiting for a performance like this where they're just popping off and just shooting heads, you know? If they're able to do this, it just means that they can beat some of these big contenders for the global event spot.
Okay, hold your horses. We're not there just yet, but you are positive, which is a good thing. But the next map, however, is bind. And what we heard from Starkso specifically or in the interview was that there was an issue that they had against GX that they fixed, and Navi is no longer going to be able to exploit. How are we feeling about that?
I'm sorry, I completely zoned out.
Wow, really?
Minnie not listening. Oh, there's a surprise.
Name more, I got a QO.
No, I think it's good that they recognize that they had mistakes. I mean, you kind of would have to with that scoreline, but also with the comeback that they were able to have, it was kind of iconic. But still, you know, having the due diligence to go back and have a look at that and figure out what they need to fix to make sure that they get more than 2 rounds on the defense. Obviously, you have to commend the coaching staff and
2 is all they need, though.
As an idea, apparently 2 is all they need on the defense, and of course, with them starting on that side here, I don't know. It's one of those situations where are we going to be worried if they do only get 1 or 2 runs on the defense based on what they were able to pull off last week?
I mean, history, I don't know if it necessarily will repeat itself, but either way, we do see that there is a repetition in terms of the composition that we're seeing from the side of both of these rosters, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, we got Sociable back on the Sky. I think on this on this map, forgive me, is probably
Mini
fine. Like, this is fine. This is fine.
This is good. This is good. I
accept
accept the comfort raised sky here on this map, but it's a bit smaller. You know, it makes sense. But long range maps, no. Yeah, it looks like both teams are going to be locking in compositions that they have played previously, so both are going to have footage on how each other going to play. General mates with the double duelist, you're going to expect a bit more explosivity onto those sites. With Navi, it's going to be about taking multiple lanes on their attack side with both that Sky drone and the Tail drone. They're going to be able to split the sites very easily.
Yeah, I think as well, something that we need to highlight that we just kind of mentioned there is Martin and Bippo on this double duelist. I think that if they can continue to have this performance that they've had so far, it means that you aren't really relying on the hard hitters such as Mini. I think even in saying that, Mini's Viper has looked good in the past. He is one of those mechanically gifted players that Gentlemates has on their roster, and yeah, I think so far so good from them.
Yeah, I think both of these comps as well, like I don't have like, oh, this is weird, this is like gimmicky, this is just some honest, good Valorant at this point.
Which
so I'm just really excited to watch this matchup.
And that's the thing, like that's what we said at the very start of the day. The reason that these 4 teams are here in this position, being closer to Master Santiago, is because they do just keep it simple, good Valorant, which is what we want to see.
Yeah, and it felt like last map, specifically from the side of Navi, they try to make it a little bit more creative and didn't necessarily work out, but that is okay because, again, there's multiple brackets that we have going on. But Bind, this is Navi's pick. Can they do it? Can they push it to a 3rd mapper? I don't know, Mitch and Tom, you guys let me know what you think.
Well, there's certainly a lot to deal with for Navi if they do want to make it all the way to split, Tom. After that debut from mates in this series, Abyss looked fantastic, a 13-7, a very strong result, and we saw them as well getting behind Navi, starting to exploit the gaps that were there. So now we move on to Bind. Do you expect that things are going to change now that Navi are on their comfort ground?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that, like, obviously you want to look back at the victory and go, maybe they'll win 11 rounds in a row on attack, but they only needed to do that because they had a horrible defensive side. Like, they didn't perform particularly well in that first half. So for Navi, I think that they start out on the attack. They start out with the opportunity to build up a good half. I think that this has been a strong map for them thus far. And they actually, well, last time they played, at least preferred being on the defense. And also just comfort. Like, Hero looked insane. See if that continues to be the case. But I am a little bit worried with the fact that, like, obviously we've seen Filu in previous organizations, previous teams go a little bit quiet. He was definitely quiet in that last map, and I think that even though he's not been lighting the world on fire, they still need him to make that space. They still need him to be in position so players like Ruxic, like Hero can take over games. So I am going to be focusing to see if he can do that again, because he doesn't need to be dropping 30 kills a game, but he still needs to be having impact.
Well, you heard from the desk about Mini as a Viper, how strong he can be. Now's a moment to prove it. Stepping through the smoke onto this B side, he's being caught, but he still finds 1 before falling. And the spam through, gets 2. Starzo and Martin have set them up for success as mates. Beautifully filtered through those choke points. It's a 1-0 start for mates. The pistols have been very solid for this squad.
Yeah, I think I said it at the very sort of like beginning of the year, is that
เอเจนต์มันแบบมันคุกมันทำอะไรได้เยอะอะเวเลโยรู้อะ
to watch, and I think we've been seeing that more and more as the weeks go on. Like the fact that one of them runs in, throws a stun, goes back, the other's out, and you're like, oh, well, what do I do here? There's two of them, and there's nothing I can do in this moment. The spams as well are doing so much, and hey, in the pistol rounds, they have been thriving. Another under their belt, another strong start.
น้องวินสวัสดีครับ
It did lose a round to classics earlier, so let's
ทุกคน
not count out
วันนี้พี่น่าจะอยู่แค่
I love the
คู่นี้นะ
passion,
ผม
man. Like we see a
ไม่
pistol
ไหวจริง
round 1 and we cut to Kundi buzzing like a fly in a lampshade.
ว่า
I
พัก
mean,
ด้วย
it's
เดี๋ยว
just
พรุ่ง
so
นี้ไม่ไหว
fun to
พี่
see. The whole
ท้อง
team's
เสีย
just got
เมื่อ
that
กี้ลุกไปเข้า
an
ห้องน้ำ
excitement factor.
ยังรู้สึกร้อนๆอยู่เลย
Challenge towards bathroom coming in, but of course the gate crash gives that free
วัน
escape.
นี้แฟนผมบอกพี่หน้าเหมือนคิมซอนโฮ
But an orb will be
Kim
obtained
Son
on the
Ho
other side. A trade that I think
ไอ้ที่แสดงเรื่องเลิฟทรานสเลตอะนะ
Of course, they have only got classics across the board. Credits saved up for the next round, and this one, a sacrificial lamb of a round. But they might get something from it, whether it's damage. On mates. Remember, take a look at the investment. You know, a lot bought up on that defensive side, so every little helps in terms of keeping that economy honest. For now, though, there is little to nothing to report.
โอ้สนุกกับเลิฟทรานสเลตอุ้ยทามมิ่ง
Filu has been caught, but nobody's really been able to do
Give it up.
anything about it. No one lost yet, but there are a few tagged up players that could end up falling. Of course, it's SMGs and Marshall brought up, so it's not like there was a player with a pistol or nothing invested. And for Filu, is there a chance to get an orb? No.
ออกไปเซเว่นมาไอ้ยาตัวนั้นไม่มี
Not in the way that
กิน
he
ตัวอื่น
wanted.
แทน
It will be a plant and a singular kill, at least something for the side of Navi, but they are going to be coming up against pretty much everything in this next round for the side of Mates.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Marshall loss, something that Mates can very easily bridge that gap by even like buying up a shorty and sitting inside, whether you want to be in lamps or over in hookah. Many more places in between, but those are the hot spots for those shotguns.
Only one gun gone, come on.
Only one gun gone, exactly, Cliff. Now we move into round number 3, where we see Mates still having a pretty strong economy. That was a bit of reinvestment from Martin that's going to chip him down to 2K, but he gets himself a Guardian, which, you know, nice upgrade from the Marshall round before. Doesn't really hurt the bank that much. Navi have a decent fight on their hands. They definitely have the upper hand when it comes to that investment. Ruxic has not actually landed anything on the ground.
เอาละเอ้า
The chase
มี
was
อ
a
งค์พ
little
ลัก
much
ษ์ไง
for Starzo.
Oh, no, but it keeps going.
โอเค
Martin then
มา
runs
ตีน
it
เอาคืน
down
มา
and
เป็น
takes out
4-4
Filu. There's
แต่ตอนนี้ A คนเดียว
Map seems to have continued on from the last, being caught with his pants down, and the defense are not just sitting around, constantly proactive, constantly moving, constantly changing where they're set up. The problem, though, is I think it's going to take them too long, unless Navi are incredibly slow encroaching on this A site.
แล้วด้านหลังครับ
They are going to have it almost for
ถ้า
free.
นาวิช้าอาจจะเละเทะได้ แต่ดูละ M8 น่าจะกว่าจะถึงนาวิน่าจะวางแฟนบายเสร็จแล้ว
I think he's even spotted the player stepping behind the box.
ให้
He
นาวิไป
certainly
แล้ว
has now.
กับวิทน่าจะโดน
All he
นา
has
วิ
to do really is distract them.
you know
Time's
what?
being bought already by the grab. Well, that wrap coming through just in time. I mean, Ruxic's going back to clear it, but 3 kills needed. Close quarters weapons in play, and it's Mini to land it with the Bulldog.
Insane ปะ
An upgrade there. They can
Insane
remove
จัด
the
Insane จัด
Vandal
เป็นไง
back in play, but even then, that doesn't really matter because they're starting to take kills across the
แต่
board.
มีเลด
Mini's
เลิฟ
already
1 คน
got
ครับ
a double. Sociable
มี
and
ไกเน็ต
Hero
ไซโว2 อันนะ
completely
ต้อง
isolated
แตะให้ไวครับ
on
เรียกกัน
opposite
ไซโว
sides.
ก่อน
And
1
we're
อัน
gonna
นะ
salvos going through, giving away the game in a
แต่ว่า
moment.
แข่งครับพี่โล
Then the info's there to play with. They can try to run it down towards short. It's only Sociable that flies under the radar, and now his position revealed. Second, Salvo sent through, stops the defuse as time ticks away. They know where Sociable is. At least they know where he was. If he can stop that defuse, the round could be his, but doesn't get there in time. Too many bodyguards in the way.
ยิงไหม
The third round for
สู้
Mates,
ครับ
another strong start to a map that Navi are going to have to
ยิง
climb
ไม่
back
สู้
into.
นะ
Yeah, it's like I like the idea from Hero just to try and delay those salvos as much as humanly possible, putting them through separately and even like holding a little bit towards the end to make sure that it bought loads of time. But they just lost so much from that initial flank, and yeah, that kill's insane. Like, the first one is like, okay, it's a guy peeking you, but you got to feel a little bit bad for the Navi side that Mini's just doing mini things.
Wow.
I love this because Starzo died in the first few seconds of the round, and that's the guy you got behind. Oh, well done, guys. You guys are fantastic. Just obviously giving info throughout, but honestly, He is just, it's a pleasure to get to see him back on this stage again.
He's taking credit for the group project because he came up with the name. Fair play. For mates, a flawless start. But they're up against a decent
เดี๋ยวนะซิมย้ายมาวาโล
No round to breathe.
เฮ้ยแปลก
Take it easy.
ๆเฮ้ยยังไงอ่ะ
Salvo sent into Glyph. He is dead to rights, and now a rifle in the hands of the attackers for, well, just a moment. A few more left on the floor. Mini on 1 HP. This is getting a bit dicey. He's still alive in that corner. A very spammable box, and he puts down the
with 1 HP.
You're a man! And then he spams through it with Starzo, with Martin to take Filu down. I mean,
Oh my god
that reaction caught me well and truly off guard. Behind a spammable box on 1 HP.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll put the pin up.
The thing I love about that is there's maybe like 1 or 2 ults in this game. Like you're thinking like a showstopper or something. You can fat finger that ult.
Yeah.
Like, you can just go, oh whoops, I've used my. You can't fat finger Viper's pick. Like it's too many buttons you have to clip. That was clearly intentional. But then yeah, just utilizing the reveal they had behind the pit. Like there was clearly an idea, but. Well, you could see the frustration on Sociable's face. That's got to be so irritating that has worked.
Well, he was probably about to shoot because he's like, oh, the Viper's 1 HP.
ปีแล้วโคตรอยากให้มาฮิเดติกเลย
Through that line. Here's the reveal behind him. He already knows he's done at that point. 4-0 start. The investment now from Navi. The full buy and play. They got rid of the pit in the last round, and that's something to look at. Sure, they lost, but they should have coming in. They had weaknesses. They've managed to trade out around for some ult economy. And with theirs very close to being online, this could be where they find one on the board.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it has to be though. Like, sure, they had a great defensive side last time out, but like, Mates had a fantastic attack. So you really don't want to be gambling too much on your second half. And again, my eyes are drawn to Filu. Those opening picks have not been particularly kind. They've been caught by a lot of aggression. Well, already speaking of aggression, Martin's used his ultimate just to go looking for info. And you can understand why. 40 seconds left on the clock. If you can figure out the play, Bippo's still in position. I think he's just going to be used as bait. Oh no, he's not used as bait! He went out to try and fight them. All Hero's done well. There's the showstopper. Still a player within the site though. Glyph with the spam. Starzo here as well. It's the swing out. And leaving it all up to the IGL.
กิฟยิงไม่โดนเฉยเลยครับตอนนี้ถ้ากิฟยิงโดนเมื่อกี้น่าจะได้เล่น
Available and so much to do for Starzo. The first goes his way, and the second, one more to find, but Hero will play stopper. Denies a clutch for the ages, but that was way too close.
Starzo in those 1v3s, man, he's getting way closer than he should every time. That was nasty. And yet when that dive came out of Bibble, he had nowhere frag. So he sent in Shorty in hand to go crazy. What a madman.
Hero is cold because he just saw a guy fly over his head and he went, I'm killing the guy there.
Yeah,
and I'll deal with that later. Like he didn't break eyesight for 1 second.
Not my problem anymore. Yeah. He's behind me.
If I can't see him, he can't see me.
Works every time. Well, now we get around on the board. They chain them together, or will this just be the backbreaker to the economy from Gentlemates? B-site certainly left a bit open, but then the gate crashes there. So is the rotate from Glyph, and of course with Mini on the site.
Yeah, don't peek him.
It can never be considered weak. He's already got
โอ้โหเหลี่ยมนี้เหลือกิน
He got a glimpse
Oh.
on top of his head, and that was all he needed to send Shao to the Shadow Realm. A glorious player he is. Mini is such a treat. How the hell did this guy end up as an IGL? Jesus, get him on the duel list.
Oh my god เฮ้ยอะไรอ่ะวันเวอ่ะ
It's just his raw accuracy is just insane. Well, look at where he's got to flick to get this kill. If Ruxic walks out of this corner, it would have to be a reaction shot. Even though Martin's closer on the angle, I still somehow believe that it will end up being Mini. And I think he's seen him. Yep, he's got the info. Knows exactly where he is waiting patiently while Martin gets the job done. An in-zone flawless, but honestly, I think you could take one map from Mini and just make highlight reels. And it'll be better than most people's like month-long highlight reel clips.
แต่ถ้าไอ้รูติกได้มาก็คือ perfect แล้ว
You just can't peek an angle like this. Yeah, that's what he saw, by the way, guys. In case you're wondering at home, like how he saw anything, it's yeah.
Oh, you can see clearly from chat screen. I mean, he knew Mini was there. What a fool!
If you pause it and just stare at it for 5 seconds, you can see what he saw in 0.01 of a second.
That's actually madness. And indeed, as you would very much expect, there is a timeout coming in, a tactical
Guys, you
break.
don't see his head?
นาวีบอกเล่นงี้ ไปสายกลางก็ได้ งอนแล้วโซนนี้31ครับปูเซน31วันเสาร์นะครับวันเสาร์3 โมง
really forcing him into awkward battles. There wasn't anything that made him uncomfortable in that
ส
moment.
กินนั้นเมื่อกี้โอ้โหง่ายมากไม่ให้โดนยัดไซส์แล้วก็วันเวของก้ากับวันเวดูลองได้
Raze and a Viper. Like I kind of
มันเล่น
expect
มัน
you to
ตัว
at
ช่วย
least
เห็นหร
make
อ
that fight a little bit tougher for him. Sure, he had to hit the shots.
แต่เล่นได้ทีเดียวนะอันนั้นนะ
Well, you put Mini in aim labs and ask him to shoot the little
เป็นวอล
dots.
เซอร์ไพรส์
He's
ครับ
going to hit them.
กลับมาแทนเดิม
The thing is here, the dots should shoot back. So far, it's been a struggle for Navi. They find
ถ้า
a
ใช้
round.
บ่อยๆคนที่มาเขาก็
Immediately
เล่น
get
ข้างบน
reset with an end zone flawless. And now a timeout that sends them straight into the waiting arms of Martin. That wall soon to fall. Sociable trapped on the other side. They've got to come through to help him. He's isolated and dealt with in such fashion. Where is the rest of the team? Isolated fights across the board, and I think this was a round for togetherness. An end zone flawless again for Gentlemates, and their economy stacked high, as are the rounds in their favor.
ดูเรื่อง
It's literally like shooting fish in a barrel. Disjointed. And what a crossfire of Martin and Mini.
You know what they always say, when you're on a low buy with stingers and pistols, you gotta stay separated, strengthen individual fights.
Yeah.
And
why would I trust my teammates?
Make sure the trades are at least a couple seconds apart. You know, give them time to reset. It's got to be a fair fight, right? No dishonorable BS going on down here. I like it from Navi, respectful, but it's not getting them rounds. It's time to disrespect your opponents. Nice white swing. That's got some damage. It sent Pitbull back. Glitz down out of the round. Now Navi your fight.
Yeah. By the way, I think that was Rooks' first kill. He's been slaughtered so far. Careful though. They run through and give Pitbull those fights once again.
ถือว่าตายในหน้าที่ผม
Sociable and Hero now the last standing, already hit by the Nightfall. They know where they are. They're not looking to get too aggressive off this, waiting for the util to fade. A Mini where you give him even a second's notice and it's all too easy. Sociable left in a clutch scenario. Last year he had
เอาชัวร์ด้วยถอยกลับมาเล่นด้วยกัน
in EMEA at least, but I don't know. I'm not believing right now.
ไม่น่าได้วางแล้ว
I'm not believing in him even getting a fair fight. Mates have not been making mistakes, not been giving anybody anything, and just look to try and back up. We've been wary that that could have been a fake plant. A jump in, a chance, and while he gets absolutely nothing. Every angle covered, every angle cleared. 7-1 for Gentlemates, and well, we sort of asked the question of is it going to get better going into their own map choice? If anything, Mitch has got worse.
ใช่ไหม
Oh yeah.
ปกติ
ปกติ
ลุยอีกยิงนะเกิดอะไรขึ้นวะอันนี้ปูเซนไวคอมดูแล้วครับผม
Need 2 pauses very early on. We're seeing consistent mistakes. Utility that's not being broken. Pushing through the sites. I mean, last round individually that was.
What is the swing?
I was asking the same question last round, and we get it again here. You know, for Navi, I think
Starzo when he's at the park.
We need. I mean, all he can see is the seesaw. Yeah, round number 9 for Navi. Weak. They've got pistols. They've got marshals. Ultimates are kind of there, but are you even going to put the pit in here? I think we might have to play, give mates 8 and fight back into it for that 8. 4 scoreline, and you know what? Now I think we're definitely going to do that.
Okay, I think that. Well, if we were cut to Hero's POV, he's just opened up the menu to report Martin for cheating.
in game.
Because that's what I'd be doing. Guys at the right place at the right time, all the time, waiting on the angle, and you've just seen him on the other side of the map. He just killed you back on the other side as well.
ปกติมาติงมันชอบแบบเล่นมุกนะเข้มที่สุดวันนี้แบบ
He's A, go B, he's B, go A. And now
เอาจริงเหรอวันนี้เผลอเอาจริง
Wait. There we go. Another one. He's got him. Okay. I I know he was low
มันจะเอาช็อตตี้ยิง-6อ่ะ100 หลีอ่ะไอ้เหี้ยจิตใจมันทำด้วยอะไรอ่ะ
Yeah, I'm not even sure the pallets can reach that far, but you
จิต
know,
ใจมันทำด้วยอะไรก่อน
I do as well. I'll be honest with you. If Martin thinks they can, then fair play.
Oh, an 8-1 scoreline. 4 ults online for mates for the big buy coming up from Navi. This round they get desolated in bathroom. Straight away then on long, over on B, and then straight away on short again. How we almost got the whole map covered by Martin.
นาวิตอนแรกมันไม่ใช่แบบนี้ดิ
He was only looking for a fight inside hookah to
คู่
get
2
everything.
ครับไม่น่าไหวคู่2 สูสี
15-2. Martin 14-4. What do you do? It's like trying to herd smoke dealing with these guys, and a little bit more aggression, gets info early. But this time from Navi, it's a default across the map. And Tom, no surprise when you look at what they're up against. Full buy, obviously, but those 4 ultimates in play for mates have to be given respect.
But they've also bought an operator. They're being disrespected enough that they have just said, yeah, Filu, post up on one of these angles. Oh, we need to deny them so much of the space that they've had.
พี่คิดว่าโหดแต่ไม่คิดว่าจะโห
They
ดข
need
นาด
to
นี้
start denying it soon because we're getting to the point where
ไม่
mates
คิด
are
ว่าจะ
now
ถึงแบบ
5
ไป
rounds
ซานดิเอ
away
โก
from having 3 attempts to make it to an international event.
เพราะพี่ชอบไอ้
This
มา
round
ตินกับมิ
started
น
a
นี่อยู่
little
แล้ว
bit better. Brooksick onto the board once more. The pit has been left, but the
แต่
Tiger
ที่
will
มอง
give
ข้าม
the
เพ
game
ราะว่า
away. They know
อี
exactly
ส
where
ตาร์โซ่เฉยๆอย่างนั้นอีก2 คนไม่รู้จัก
going and
เฮ้ย
dealing with him is
เอ้า
but while blinded, he's run
เล่นมุกไป
back
1
into
ที
the
อันนี้
orbital strike. Good flash that has helped out
เล่นมุกไป
Shao
1
to
ที
get a freebie.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the opposite end of the orbital strike, as unlucky as you can physically get. A perfect flash. And an advantage now for Navi to play with an op that has to be walked into as they look to cross back to the site with no idea that it's waiting. But actually, it's posting up on different angles, and it's missed the opening shot. Now, the info's there to play with, but still, these players being picked off. Mates finally facing defeat, it seems. It'll be Glyph and Starzo to bail them out, but those shots don't land. Survivability at an all-time high. Glyph manages to find 3, but the time here surely too far gone. Takes the tag of the salvo, but now 20 HP, he doesn't stand a chance, and thankfully they won't let him defuse under their nose. A round win for Navi at long last, but they need to close this half out with dominance.
Yeah, this needs to be not just another singular round on the board and the start of something, and it has been a deathly quiet map. Like Rooksick, he's just got himself up to 3 kills after only having 1 in the previous 10 rounds. And while for Filu, he now moves himself to the bottom of the board. Like they have been shut down completely. Known for that sort of individual superstar aim.
Superstar aim.
As of right now, we're seeing none of it. It's just a question whether or not this will make mates play a little bit more passive, because what's been working for them is just getting up in their opponent's face, having very early rotations, and if need be, falling back and playing those retakes as a squad. But I'm just looking at that dimensional drift. They can afford to play passive and just escape, but that's not what they're doing. Martin is very far forward.
Yeah, no gate crash either. He's looking for this fight, looking for the battle. Of course, he finds it. The brawl then that he fades out of into another dimension to find that extra info, and it's around the bath he goes. Gate crash not popped yet, but they know there's someone here. The question is how many. The answer is 2, and it looked like a freebie, but now he's under pressure. The gate crash taken, and he almost goes down. Filu quick to adjust it. The only thing keeping Martin alive still, though, that shot not finding the kill means Navi are playing the 4v5.
And the time is ticking. They definitely have a decision to make. Still deep control for Bippo, and bear in mind he has that convergence path available to them. If they make any sound, even if he just gets contact, he can just pop this ult and delay the push completely. The problem is they're just going to go walking. That one's for free. Stuns up the second. He might not even need the ultimate. 20 seconds for them to now go, and do they even realize there's a player in the corner? The flash will give it away. It's a good flash that gets them an extra. Navi actually turning this one around. It's left onto Martin, and Hero will hit the shot from the depths. Navi claim a 3rd round, but boy was it close.
Oh, I thought there was no sand left in the top of the hourglass there. Hero stunned up, hit with the hinder, and he holds his angle steadfast and strong as Bippo went in to finish off the kill. But even with that hinder, only 1 shot needed to land.
That was the kill that was everything.
Spraying away after the flash landed again, just bailing
ถ้าเป็นนักแข่งแบบ
for Hero really nice stuff.
เคี่ยวจัดๆจริงๆอ่ะช็อตอย่างใบพูเนี่ยมันจะไม่พีคไปเอาตัวที่4 ไป
around that looked lost and would have left them in the dust, but now an 8-4 half still possible. The dream is alive.
นึกสภาพถ้าเมื่อกี้ใบพูไม่ดันใช่ป่ะรอเพื่อนใช่ป่ะเพื่อนจะมาถึงหลังซ้ายก่อนนึกออกป่ะ
likely to hype you up a little bit.
อันนี้แบบว่าพวกแบบว่าผู้เล่นอายุน้อยแม่งชอบเกิดเหตุการณ์แบบไปทอนเขาอะบ่อย
There you go, Feeler. Finally managing to get himself an opening pick. Glyph down is definitely a bit more
บางอย่าง
of a
แม่ง
problem.
สามารถเล่นแบบ
See the
คอน
sort of
เฟิร์มบิน
stars
ได้
that
เมื่อ
are
กี้
currently on the
ถ้า
board.
เมื่อกี้
That
ใบพูแม่ง
global
ถอยเข้าซ้าย
utility
เหลือ
you
โค
get,
ต่อไอ้นาวีจะเข้าเร็วไม่ได้เพราะตัวเป็นสไน
all gone in a singular shot.
แล้วดูเมื่อกี้พอไปทอนเขาปุ๊บทีมกลับมาแพ้เลยแม่งการแข่งขันพวกนี้แม่งนิดเดียวจริงมันต้องแบบมันต้องมีระเบียบอะเก็บทุกเม็ดอะ
B now just having to hold it. Starzo and Martin have a bit more time on their side. Thanks to that siege, but
จะได้ชื่อมันจะได้ไทยนะ
are going to be known. Seeker sent through. Starzo gets ahead of it, breaks them as well, makes it back with the showstopper. It's going to be fired on to Starzo's feet. An easy pickup as Martin gives up the sight. And a 3v5 left into play with a Viper's win.
รู้เดวิล
Navi seem to
บอ
have
กเลย
this one locked down.
Okay. Convergence path used, but getting out is going to be very difficult. Over the top goes Bippo, but it's still not the man you were looking for. And Xiao's quick to pounce. Martin already making it through. Definitely a nasty surprise, but Hero with that operator once again. It almost feels like Fila going down, gifting that to me each round.
ก็ถ้ากลับมาแพ้เนี่ยนะเก็บไปฝันนะวินนั้นนะ
A big fourth round, a
ต้องอินพุตกันใหม่
lifeline, but definitely still a big comeback needed when it comes to the second half.
Oh yeah, a huge comeback needed indeed.
BBL กับ
8-4
ทีม VCT เหรอ
scoreline for mates. A map
BBL
already in their back
วัยรุ่น
pocket
ทีมวัยรุ่น
for
โหดมาก
Navi. A steep ascent needed on their defense.
น่ากลัวอยู่
That
คิด
is
ว่า
a
วัย
side
รุ่นน่าจะ
we've seen
เอาอ
them
ยู่
perform on before. We'll see them one more time.
เฮ้ยขอบคุณน้องเกอร์นะครับสำหรับกิฟต์ซับด้วยนะครับผม
Your body knows a sense of victory, seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone. นี่คืนนี้เก็บน้ำเกลือแร่ไปฝันแน่เลยกินแต่เกลือแร่ตัวนี้ใช่ครับเป็นคนอิตาลีคนแรกเลยครับไม่ค่อยเห็นนักกีฬาอีสปอร์ตเป็นคนอิตาลีนะเอพีเอสอะน้อยมากนะครับน้อยมากไปทางบอลมากกว่าใช่แต่ว่าในนักกีฬายุโรปหลายคนก็มันมีช่วงหนึ่งที่มันมีแฟกต์บอกอ่ะก็มีหลายคนที่แบบเคยอยากเป็นนักฟุตบอลอ่ะน่าจะไม่ใช่อิตาลีแบบนี้หรอตอนก่อนเริ่มจะให้นาวีแต่พอดูแมปแรก M8 ไป M8 ดีกว่าไม่เคยได้ยินทีมสปอร์ตอิตาลีเลยว่ะใช่ไม่เคยเลยให้กีฬาแบบพวกเกมยิงแบบพอๆฟุตบอลคอร์สปลายวาโลเคาน์เตอร์
They looked dead in the water and getting those last few rounds has set them up. Xiao some serious pressure. They thought he escaped. They must have thought he left. That's a mistake. Stunned up, maybe not realizing he was there at all, but the angle not checked, and that's a couple of kills that they may live to regret. Cliff has a decent timing, but Ruxic will hold on. And well, an immediate response from Navi. It is an in-zone flawless to kick off half number 2.
Got pistol they needed to close in that gap, and getting it done flawlessly really going to help them out. In terms of that morale, in terms of that confidence, we want this half to get off to a flying start. Otherwise, Navi will be sinking down to the depths. Our mates have looked very difficult to deal with, thinking about the double duelist. The Bippo and Martin, when it comes to this attack,
มาติน17มินนี่
many rounds are going to be decided by what those two do on this server. And with Martin having the kind of momentum he does, Navi want that shut down early. Big investment, 4 weapons and a pistol for the defensive side, while the attackers have next to nothing. And you know, unusual to see this much aggression coming out from the defense. Because of the Viper wall, they've lost control, but that spam at least pulls the man advantage into their favor.
There's a little bit of a late lurk. That's at least one, but a couple of kills, at least a little bit of extra damage. And the gun's being juggled over, so they will be able to retrieve the remainder of those guns. This was always sort of the Angel special, was just trying to have as many rifles as you can going into the buy round.
Yeah, I think it amounts to 1 weapon lost, and the Ghost, some armor. Definitely not the end of the world for that defense. Navi head held high. It's the start of this half, but a 2-round gap still exists, and now the rifles come out. Navi's biggest challenge coming their way. Can they hold back the flood of Mates players when the rifles are in hand?
Well, yeah, after 8-1 in the lead, 5 in a row now for Navi. Of course, the half splits it, and the pistol maybe makes things seem a bit closer than it was, but
แบบ3เหรอ
that's the value of it.
ใช่เหรอ
That 2-for-1 round that you receive. The question is, can they make the conversion with the bonus as well? That was something that Mates were able to do, and they do have a fair few rifles to play with. Early space already claimed, but it's a very passive hold. A backside position. Maybe Rooksik expecting to be pressed by that double duelist, and they reacted to it.
Mini looking for a battle, and he almost got one. Could have been an execution. Navi lose Rooksik. Nade sent in, doesn't deny the plant, but Hero stops Starzo from making it back, takes away a lot of that late round utility. It's so annoying for Navi that has, when it came to the retakes Mates were putting into play. Time ticking, and Navi need to go.
Oh, the flash is gorgeous, but it's only going to be...
What?
This man is unbelievable! 4 kills in a blink of an eye, and well, he gets to his feet, and rightly so. Everybody else should be seated around him.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, that sound is beautiful.
Even in slow-mo, I'm not seeing things as quickly as he is.
I could listen to that all day.
Holy shit.
That was everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's reaction to what Mini just did.
Damn near brought a tear to my eye. This guy is just something else, man. Yeah, the surprise we had last year when you're like, oh, it's this new guy, tier 2, he's going to IGL. You're like, oh, God, see how this goes. EU's struggling for IGLs as it is. Then he comes in, calls a decent game. I liked his IGLing. I liked how he played his team, but then, jeez, you just see him with a gun in his hand.
Best first half IGL in the region.
Yeah, wow.
เมื่อกี้จริง M8 แพ้แล้วนะ
Stars over the second half, we're all good. We're all good.
Wow. Another moment to add to the montage. All I'll say is the Gentlemates editor has the easiest job in the world.
Oh,
like, genuinely.
Hardest part of the job is, oh, what song should I put over this 4K from Mini?
Yeah, because you don't want to get that wrong. He's done the hard work. Now there is a buyback up. Of course, that was the bonus, but it's just the manner in which it went. Like, ooh, taking a big gamble. We'll get him into position. The Boombot is actually going to clear quite a bit of info that they're no longer here. They're able to at least keep 3 players on this side of the map. Rooksik rotating in the wrong direction, yet to really realize that he's taken the bait. The Molotov should buy them at least a little bit of additional time.
15 seconds, those players in bathroom going to be pivotal with Filu unknown for a moment, but now he's being dealt with, and everyone falls and crumbles. The Molly put it down to 10 seconds for them to get that plant. A little bit of disruption would have been enough. And instead, Sociable from miles away just watched his teammates fall like flies one after another. He's found his first here, but this is a 1v4 that he's walking into. Now a 1v3, of course, with his opening. When you hear the star go down, you already know. Even if they don't face you, they're going to win off utility.
Stars Up also just he has a haunt online, so it's like they have enough to distract. He doesn't know that, but he has enough.
Could be a snake bite post plan.
Yeah, it's an impossible scenario for Sociable, but also one where I do feel like you kind of have to look at Navi. Like you managed to, it comes down to a late round, 15 seconds. You still had utility online. You got 3 players in a crossfire, and they got ripped apart. Like there wasn't even like. This is the weird thing. I was a little bit worried looking at the clock. Yeah. But mates didn't look like they broke a sweat even for a second. Like, you could easily clear 1 player out. Vipper then gets aggressive, clears 2 players out of the spawn. Like, it looks like they had a whole minute left.
And Philo as well, I think, started shooting Shadows after his teammate went down. So they initially, when Hero dies, you have to...
Shadow's not been in the server for ages.
True. Aslan, where is he? M4 Shadow.
ก้อยจะใช้ชุดโอ้โหก้อยอยู่ลีกใส่ชุดประหยัดนี่ห้องแข่งมันร้อนเหรอวะดูมาตินอะตอนนี้โครานูบอย่างลั่นอ่ะปูเรียมาตินต้องเจอนี่ว่ะพัดลมที่บ้านเรามันขายกันอะที่มันแรงๆอะที่มันอันเล็กๆที่มันจับอย่างเงี้ยแล้วหมุนอะแล้วลมแรงๆอะ
We've not seen the best of Levin just.
ไม่มาอยู่แล้วครับไม่ค่อยเก่งอยู่แล้วคิดว่ามันนะลาหลอกเจอเดิร์กแต่วันนี้พี่อยู่ได้แค่คู่แรกนะคู่2ไม่ไหวจริงขอไปพักผ่อนก่อนไม่ท้องเสียแบบหนักมากกินยากินเกลือแร่ไม่หยุดเลยวิท BBL คิดว่าไม่ต่างเยอะตอนนี้ BBL ฟอร์มดีครับBBL เลิฟลี่ล็อกกับลาหลอกโหดมากอารมณ์ในประมาณนี้แต่ไม่ถึงขั้นมาตินกับมินนี่อ่ะแต่ก็ทรงประมาณนี้ครับ2 คนทรงประมาณนี้เลยครับกินยาแก้ท้องเสียไปครับไม่ได้จัดคาร์บอนถ้าจัดคาร์บอนไปเดี๋ยวมันกินอย่างอื่นไม่เข้าคาร์บอนมันดูดหมดสารอาหารยาตัวอื่นอะไรเงี้ยคิดว่ากุ้งใช้น้ำปลาครับคือจริงๆวันอังคารนะพี่ไปคืนวันจันทร์พี่ไปสั่งกุ้งดองมาร้านหนึ่งใช่ปะแล้วมันก็เขียนว่าดองสาดซึ่งพี่ก็จำชื่อร้านได้แล้วพี่ไปส่งลูกพาลูกไปตลาดใช่ปะซื้อของกินพี่ก็เจอวันอังคารพี่ก็กินทั้งกุ้งดองเกาหลีทั้งกุ้งแช่น้ำปลาไม่เป็นไรนะวันแรกร้านนี้สะอาดทำดีดองสาดเสร็จวันพุธเว้ยเริ่มมันเกิดที่วันพุธพี่พาลูกไปตลาดเหมือนเดิมแต่ไปซื้อข้าวอยู่ร้านหนึ่งแล้วข้างๆแม่งเสือกกุ้งแช่น้ำปลาเหมือนกันพี่ก็เลยลองเปลี่ยนร้านดูเรียบร้อยเลยครับจัดไปชุดใหญ่อะตื่นมาวันนี้ก็ทั้งวันไม่มีอ้วกแต่ว่ารู้สึกจะเหมือนจะเป็นไข้ด้วยตัวร้อนๆตัวนี้
Starzo down, but again, he was just the lurk, the ruse, as the rest have already made it through on towards the site. Now, Ruxic, he's playing sweaty. He wants to get close quarters. He's got the judge ready and waiting. Mini is about to be the one to face that. This is... the timing was... But he does manage to get one from behind. It doesn't matter. He's eventually been traded out, and Xiao is now the only man left on the site with that clock ticking.
It was a great start. The triple push down through B, going through hookah, finding a pick. They don't recover any weapons from it. And now another finds its way into their hands on that backside. Filu and Sociable, both with rifles. Man advantage there for Navi. Utility low on mates, next to none. They have to do this. Rifles in hand. Mini and Glyph, they take a bite out of this defense. Heroes recovered the rifle and now needs to use it, but Mini gives them nothing. Another huge round from this man. He just keeps going. And for Navi, that wasn't a round that they invested everything, yada yada, but they were so close, Tom.
One of the jokes that was being made by the owners, they mentioned it last week about how they've locked this man up. He's staying with mates for the foreseeable future. I don't know, whatever the contract is, double it. Double it in length, double it in price. Like the guy is... Oh, he's making an argument for being the best player in the region. 22-7.
And the thing is, I'd give tactics over the mates. I'd give the strategy to them. But Tom, we look at Navi, you think about the individuals they have. This isn't where a guy should be. 22-7. And we talked about his Viper. Hell, we got to see his Viper last time they played this map. It was up against Foot, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, it was. And it was pretty decent. He was 13-12. This is a little bit of a step up. Now he's looking like Starzo last time.
วันนี้ทุกคนน่าจะได้นอนไว
Or maybe Starzo was looking like him. I feel like he might be the more consistent variable at this point.
โหดมาก
I think that's people are going to be looking to grow up and be like Mini. And to be honest, other Mini might have to start worrying about his trophy record.
Actually, last time they played Bind when he was on the Vibe, because I was looking at the Foot series, the one up against GX, where it was Bind instead of Split.
He was better, yeah.
23-13. So yeah, he is almost eclipsing his performance.
So he needs to die
a lot.
6 times to go down to where he was before.
He might improve on his stats, but well, the game's far from over.
You know, Navi have a buy. Filu, aggro position. And he's managed to take down Mini. There you go. That's one of the 6.
30 seconds.
Already, our team's found one with the shorty though. And this is a problem because they've got the Viper's pit down, but they are just going to completely ignore it. They're going to find themselves a lot of additional space. Bippo has just been annoying. Like, he's taken so much space. They're even having to check up close. They know that this is a problem. Nice work from Ruxic though, out of his pit. But in the meantime, that spike has been planted.
Yeah, a flash still online from Martin. Starzo's going forward. It's a crazy play, and he gets spammed through the smoke. That's going to get them onto the side of the flash. Well, it might have been better without it. Navi, they found the round in the end. Little mistake from Martin, but nice shots fired back.
ทำไมมันไม่แฟตทิ้งง่ายๆแบบพีกอะพีกพร้อมแฟตนี่หรอปะ
Yeah, I think it was a really good read from a couple of players. One of them was Hero. The fact that he is holding the drone to use it to clear out that aggressive spawn position is massive because that's been an issue where Bippo has just been going, I'm just going to keep pushing until someone inevitably stops me. And well, even having Ruxic to clear out that backline as well was integral. A bounce back from Navi.
Back at it.
And again, with only a singular player surviving in the last round, it's not like the economy was booming for the opposing side. An immediate showstopper. I don't know how. Nobody's dead. There we go. Get there in the end, but it sort of ended up as a rifle delivery. In fact, it's 2 rifles delivered.
The flanks being watched. Mini might go down, but he gets the info. Rifles were covered, and they've gotten out. Glyph went back in. They're playing so aggressive, like they're the better team. And it looks like they just might be with Martin taking Sociable out. Ruxic is all that stands of this defense. The spike down, they can take it wherever they want now. With it in Starzo's possession and 2 big players to deal with here. Ruxic, he's got to gamble.
แก้ตัวแมปแรกหรือเปล่า
Now at least it looks like he's guessed right, but look where he's going.
Yeah, you understand it. You've heard nothing. You've seen nothing. So you start to doubt the initial decision that you made, the initial rotation, which could have ended up being perfect. The only thing that could play a part is now that he's got to be, now that he's cleared some of these angles, does he start running back? He'd have to almost full sprint to get anywhere near before they get that plant down. And while back to the same spot as the last round,
spike planted.
He's got to go for a full rotation back to that A site.
มีสเน็กไบนะ
And the problem is, even with the plant, it feels like it's obvious. Like you look at where it is and you go, okay, they probably have to be towards the showers, you're going to start doubting that the second you make it around this corner.
I think for Ruxic, he's still got that snake bite, but he's got to go now. He would have to gamble it, throw it in, and probably have them just let him defuse it. There's no chance. No opportunity. And that means 12-7. Navi accept their fate. Ruxic sends it towards the spawn for the save, and mates make it to 12. 5 chances to close this one out. If they do it here, 13-7 on the maps. And what a dominant display this has been. We came into today wondering if the power levels between these two, but you've got to be fuming. You've got to be fuming.
The person that took the most damage from that showstopper was Filu himself. Like, that's got to be...
And he still killed him after.
Yeah, he did still kill him, but it's a low buy. They don't care. You've traded out Bippo for absolutely nothing. And realistically...
I'm out.รู้ฝีมือเฉย
They get on a side. I'm wondering if you still have the player left who's got that strike ready to rumble. This has been night and day. Mini and Martine leading the charge. Eminem as Navi struggle to find anything. But this is where the comeback could start. This is where the greats are remembered.
Bring them down.
Yeah, and again, like, you might be looking at this and going, oh, it's week 2. It's not that big a deal. You lose a game here, but this is a chance. If mates win one of the next 5 rounds, they will get to play in at least one best of 5, but even if they lose it, they'll get a second and a third chance to make it to a Masters event. For the Gentlemates of last year, a team that struggled to not finish last, that would be one of the greatest turnarounds we've ever seen. And this new roster would already be making history with their placement without winning any of those best of 5s. They'd also have over a week off to watch all the other teams, to pick them apart, to come up with ideas. So much potential of just a singular round of Navi. They want that. They want that extra time. They want those extra chances, those extra lives that teams have been clutching to.
That's not going to hit anybody from what we can see. It will clear out a lot of space at least. Moving towards the side. In. Spray is good though. Ruxic's done well. Orbital strike put into play, buying time, buying delay as Mini's caught in mid as well. Everything going Navi's way. The start of the comeback seems to be here, and now great delivery from Hero. Led straight to the head of Glyph. And Martine and Stars have 10 seconds, 5 opponents to take down, and 2 weapons that they want to carry through to the next round.
Navi trying to deny that, trying to remove all of those remaining guns, and okay, they lose a couple of their own, but that was well worth it. They need to not only win these individual rounds, but they need to try and break their opponent. They need to start a streak of their own. And if your opponents are constantly able to buy, you're not going to be able to do that.
Counter นะ
Still that concern of the Viper's pit, even in a round like this where
กูท้อง
mates
เสีย
will
นะ
come
ตอน
in.
เนี้ย
The modest economy, a modest investment, but more than a moderate chance at taking this round from Navi, taking the series along with it. 4 chances now to close this out.
ตัดไป2 ขวดแล้ว
And they have set their sights towards A. It's going to be a quick, clear, and direct play with the low buy. Already information. Bippo stuck it. I thought he was going to go back, let someone else take the fight, but instead he takes the blood of Filu, spills it across the A site, and now
อุ้ย
they could get
ไล่
that
โคตร
pit
ส
up.
วย
They're going
ดูดิ
deep,
อ้าว
running it down. Navi Navi holding like a cracked dam, but finally they keep that pushback, leave it into the hands of Mini, and send him out of the round 2 just in the nick of time.
Yeah, that all came down to the ultimate of Hero. Like putting in that Armageddon,
ก็ฐานหิน
he
ที่มัน
forced
ดำ
them to either run all the
ๆ
way
กูจัด
back or
3A
run
ไป
all the
ก้อน
way
หนึ่งเมื่อ
forward,
กี้
and they chose. I don't mind the
กว่าจะ
decision.
เคี้ยว
They
ได้
chose in a split second to go forward, try and fight close with all of those weapons, but they then sat back and were able to clear them out. It was a beautiful opener, but
ไม่โอที
it really did just come down to that singular
อันนี้มัน
ultimate.
หา
And
บาย
even
เลย
it catches Bippo with no safe space to hold. Nice round from Navi, nice reaction from Hero. He's still at the top of the board, by the way. He's been having a fantastic tournament, a fantastic kickoff so far. And I'll be honest, I think right now he's the reason they're still in the map.
Again, it seems like mates are going towards A, at least from Navi's perspective. A Viper wall always going to be up in that position, but presence made towards A. Prowler sent through, at least 2 players spotted. But they're pumping the brake.
อ๋อใช่เหรอกาแฟมันห้ามกินเหรอหรือเมื่อเช้ากินกาแฟ
If
ไป
they
วะ
can get an orb for Starzo. Oh, they're actually going to go for the Cosmic Divide instead, but still leaves them with an awful lot. In fact, it seems like Navi are trying to get ahead of it. Try and fight them earlier in the round, because if it gets into that late round with a Viper's Pit, maybe even a Nightfall.
Where's Shao going? Getting the wall up.
Who's next?
You are
He's at least
divided.
made it out.
Used almost everything. Over on this side of the map already. Martin looking to try and clear things out. He left a gap. Oh, it's a little whiffy. He's only going to manage the one. A chance for a little more, but the trade back from Bippo, and again, he's just trying to stop them getting back into the site. In the meantime, though, look at the space that's already been taken by Mini. He's going to get them into the B site. Of course, they're taking it slow. Maybe there's still someone here. Maybe there's still a player that we need to clear.
Welcome to my
But instead, now with a Viper's Pit towards the spawn, this is so hard to fight back into.
Yeah, it's a big difference, right? They're keen to take it slow on the site, because once they've got that cleared, they know that they can keep it under their control, tighten their grip on this B site. And Navi playing a retake through this is going to be nightmare fuel. No dog from Sociable. Instead, they're going to run it around, try to face on the side where the pit doesn't stand tall, but instead, Bippo and Starzo do. Numbers on their side, time ticking away. It's bleeding out of the clock, but Shao spotted Mini. That's the pit down. Now a chance to get on the spike, but time is the big issue.
Here is 1 health.
1 health on the defuse. They're trying to block, but it's not working. And now it's surely too late. It's surely done. Shao alone. As the final threads fray from the loom, mates lock in the victory. 2-0. Besting Navi, and not 1, not 2, but 3 chances for Gentlemates to grace the international stage right at the start of this year.
But last year, 11th to 12th in stage 2, 11th to 12th in stage 1, and 7th to 8th the kickoff. Well, let's just say they've blown all of those out of the water immediately, as they are the first team to make it into one of the best of 5s. A complete turnaround, a change of all players except one Mitch. That one player being Mini, who was the
ทุกคนครับวันนี้พี่ไม่ไหวจริงๆนะไม่สบายนะขอตัวพักก่อนนะครับสอรี่นะอยู่ไม่จบนะเดี๋ยวเจอพรุ่งนี้3 โมงนะครับมาเป็นสปิกนะอย่าลืมนะครับฝากไปกดติดตามซูมสีฟ้าด้วยนะครับพิมพ์อยู่ด้านบนนะขอบคุณล่วงหน้านี้สำคัญมากฝันดีทุกคนนะครับ หนักมากจริงปกติจะเป็นนิดหน่อยอยู่แล้วเดินครับอันนี้ครับ
right behind Martin
with a
stellar performance. This squad is shining bright, and as we said, 3 chances now to make it to the internationals.